Welcome back to the party, everybody. This is Morty, and I am your host, Lutch, aka the Indian Jesus, here to resurrect the second coming of common sense. Everybody hit that like and subscribe. You know I would do it for you, and let's party. Big shout out to the replay gang. Oh, look who big shout out to the replay gang. Thank you so much for coming back to watch us. Even though you missed the live party, guys, that is the best part. So make sure you're here every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, and sometimes whenever I feel like it. So let's dive right in, guys. As always, if you cannot hear the video, please do let me know. First, let's shout out our boy, Kick Nirvana. Welcome to the party. Yes, Andrew Tate is back, and we gonna get into it.
Tate said, push me, challenge me. Nothing's on the table. We're going to talk about a bunch of different things. But make sure you get this message to as many people as possible. Whether you're watching this on X or YouTube, let's make sure we do that.
Yeah, share the video.
Okay, so opening question. Everybody's doing their thing. Nobody's paying attention to what's going on. And then all of a sudden, Andrew and Tristan Tate are on a flight on their way to Florida. They haven't tweeted anything for 24 hours. You guys concern people when you stop tweeting things, right? And then all of a sudden, tweet X, whatever you want to call it, there's no message going out. I don't know if you can say Xing, right? They were tweeting. So then
we just learned from Elon, it's called a post.
All of a sudden, the news is you land in Florida. Everybody sees the video. When that happens, the great governor of Florida, which is one of the reasons why we moved here, he does a great job running the state. He was asked about you. This is what he had to say. Rob, if you can play the clip.
Back to Romania or whatever. Well, we have no involvement in that. I read about it through the media. Clearly, the federal government has jurisdiction, whether they want to rebuff his entry into the United States, and I have confidence that whether it's Pam Bondi or Kristi Noem, that they will be looking at that. I do know our Attorney General, James Uthmeyer, is looking at what state hooks and jurisdiction we may have to be able to deal with this. But the reality is no, Florida is not a place where you're welcome. With that type of conduct in the air. And I don't know how it came to this. We were not involved. We were not notified. I found out through the media that this was something that was happening. Okay, guys.
So he says you're not welcome. Now, President Trump was asked the same question. This was his reaction, and I'm just going to turn it over to you after this.
The federal government has jurisdiction.
Can you turn off the other one, Rob? Just close it up. Yeah, there you go.
Streaming.
Tate landed in Florida today on a private jet after being released from custody in Romania. They are accused rapists, human traffickers, not thought of as good people in many circles. Did your administration pressure the Romanian government to release them? And if so,
I know nothing about that. I don't know. You're saying he's on a plane right now?
He's back. They already did.
Yeah, I just know nothing about it. We'll check it out. We'll let you know.
Andrew.
So you got the governor says Florida is not a place where you belong or welcome to. President Trump says he doesn't know anything about it. How were you allowed to come to the States and leave Romania?
You know what's interesting? Trump is...
Well, he is an American citizen. So there is a definite threading or balancing of the needle, or whatever the hell you want to call it, that needs to happen here. Because I personally, I meant to pull this up. I'll find it. But I meant to bring up the first video I ever covered with Andrew Tate. And there was already rumors of trafficking and all that stuff. And from the very beginning, I said, look, this guy works in webcams and stuff. So it makes sense that he would have allegations like that are false. It also makes sense that he would have allegations like that are true. So, for the longest time, we were just kind of, paying attention to what he was saying and not really diving into his life and following him. But as more and more came out, it really showed that this is not a good dude at all. And as of right now, he has not been convicted of anything. He's clearly not in jail, and he does have an American citizenship. So as much as I personally don't like him, I think it was a huge misstep for DeSantis to say that, he wasn't allowed there, because that's not true. And if there's nothing he can do about it, then why go out on a limb and focus on one person when the principle is what's much more important? Let's see what our boys got to say.
Says he doesn't know anything about it. How were you allowed to come to the States and leave Romania?
You know what's interesting? Trump is such a boss. Trump is such a boss. His answer is, he's such a gangster. Don't know. I don't know anything about it. I don't know. That's the correct answer to most things. This is some life advice to everybody at home. 99% of the time, if you're asked a question as a man, the correct answer is, I don't know. I don't know. So I like Trump's answer. As for Ron, I'm a little bit disappointed. I'll be honest. I've never said anything bad about him. I didn't know much about him. I was a fan of his. I heard that Florida was a great state. I know he did well under COVID. I knew nothing about the guy. But it turns out when he was pressured, he instantly caved to the pressure. And we have to have a long conversation about why the liberals and why Soros and why these wrap-up smears, why they use the media to do what they do, because what they try and do is isolate somebody. So they're afraid to be, so people are afraid to represent them or stand by them or stick up for due process.
And that's exactly what DeSantis just fell for. And it doesn't matter that you like somebody or you don't like somebody. We are a country of laws, and the law is if you are a citizen here, then you're allowed to be here.
I don't know why Ron's answer wasn't, he has an American passport. The judicial system in Romania, which I know absolutely nothing about, decided to let him fly, and he's flown to his home country. As far as we're concerned, he's broken no laws. Instead, what he did was say, we're going to get our attorney general to try and find some laws he's broken and wreck this man who's done nothing inside of the United States ever. Isn't the whole point of democracy innocent until proven guilty? I've yet to even have a trial, let alone a conviction. I've never even been tried. After 3 years, I've never been to trial. All those times I'm walking in and out of court, I've never had a trial. And communism, as we've understood it and tried very hard to fight against for so long, the basic premise is that you find the man and then find the crime.
Now, we've definitely seen that that was the case with Donald Trump and all these kangaroo courts. What I think Andrew Tate is trying to do, again, I don't know exactly what did or did not happen. I only know what words he's spoken. So if you guys are not familiar, you guys are definitely going to drive this conversation more. We could stick more in just what he's saying, but I also have some of Willie Mack show videos pulled up where he did a deep dive on all this stuff. And there is no question that this man committed crimes that none of you would be okay with. But first, let's shout out our boy Arjun. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the party. Very good to see you. As always, guys, if you would like to support the channel, head on over to theindianjesus.com for your very own official merch, including the patriotic Indian Jesus, only at theindianjesus.com. Guys, we do also have a Discord server that is absolutely free to join 24/7. We're in there hanging out, having a great time. It is an awesome place to meet new people and have interesting conversations. And like I said, it is absolutely free. However, if you are a member of this channel here on YouTube, you can scroll right below the video, hit that join button. There's a few different tiers here, but it starts at just $2.99 a month. Gets you members only live streams here on YouTube. Going to be doing a bunch more of those, all that other good stuff too. But it also opens up the full Discord server. And so, yes, we do have the free chat channel, but there is other chat channels as well, including the voice channel. So as soon as we are done here, we are headed over to Discord. Again, the link is pinned at the top of the chat. And for members, we have the after party where we don't have to worry about any YouTube censors or anything like that. You are not stuck behind your keyboard. You're actually on screen with me and everybody else. It is a good time, guys. Definitely come and join us. Shout out to Dylan Soup, also a Discord member. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yes, R.I.P. King Dakar. Wrote it front row, baby. Front row. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the party. We are talking with the return of Andrew Tate. And like I was just saying, you guys are definitely going to drive this conversation more than I do. This is, there's plenty here in this discussion to talk about. But if you guys are really, riding for Tate, then it seems like we're going to have to switch over to Willie Mack and, take a look at some of the receipts as to whether or not he's guilty. He definitely is not a good guy and absolutely has committed crimes. What do you mean? He's been on house arrest in Romania for the last 3 years. He came back yesterday. All right.
The basic premise is that you find the man and then find the crime. Is that not exactly what Ron DeSantis just promised to all of his constituents? It's not, we've seen a...
And again, regardless of what's going on in Romania, that is exactly what DeSantis just did.
Crime, let's find the perpetrator. It's, we found a man, let's see if we can find a crime to pin on this man. Is that the American way? Is that democracy? Is that innocent until proven guilty? Now, I'm not afraid of it because I know I've done nothing wrong. But it's quite unusual and quite scary for me to land as an American citizen, expecting a hero's welcome after dealing with a foreign and complicated judicial process, and being told that now the American state is going to be set on me, trying its very best to lock me up here when I've done nothing wrong ever. This is...
Shout out to Indie Film over on Rumble. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the party. Very good to see you, brother.
This is communism in and of itself. I may as well fly back to Romania. This is incredible that I landed and the governor of Florida is like, don't worry, I told my attorney general to try and find things this man's done. Where did that even come from? So I'm very, very disappointed in Ron. I think
Agreed. And I feel the need to keep repeating this, but it is definitely the two sides of the fandom of Andrew Tate and the legality of Andrew Tate. And me and Zippy kind of got into it a little bit on Twitter yesterday because somebody was saying, I don't understand how anybody could still be a fan of Andrew Tate. And Zippy was like, well, he's never been convicted and da-da-da-da-da. Like, yeah, agreed. But why are you a fan of him? What has he done that you like? And I mean, then, watching through, it's like, God damn, this guy is entertaining.
I think he did it because he caved under media pressure. And if he wants some media training, he can hit me up. There's no problem. If he wants training, wrong. There's a reason you lost the presidential election. There's a reason you got wrecked. If you want some training, come to me and I'll tell you. Your correct answer was, we have no information of crimes he's committed inside the United States.
Put a one in the chat if you remember when he was on this show and PBD gave him the heel boots. Oof, that was rough. Shout out to Jaden. Welcome to the party. Very good to see ya. How are we doing, guys? Make sure you hit that poll. I'm very interested to see where you guys fall on, again, not the legality, but the personality that is Andrew Tate. Is he good for society or is he bad? Let me know.
And I'll tell you, your correct answer was, we have no information of crimes he's committed inside the United States. He has an American passport. We were not aware of his arrival, but it's not really our concern. He's an American citizen returning to his home country. If he breaks the law within Florida, he will be held accountable as well as any other person would be. And until that point, that's it. But instead, he just completely caved and folded. You know what's really interesting? The liberals, Soros, all these NGOs, the media, they understand something intrinsically that conservatives do not understand. In the conservative world, an accusation is the same as a conviction, which is why liberals are so effective.
Yep.
The liberals will accuse a conservative of something.
They'll just throw anything out there and wait for something to stick. Or the fact that a lot has been thrown out there becomes its own crime.
Wrap-up smear them. Hello, Ron. Nancy Pelosi explained the wrap-up smear. She explained it herself. You can find the clip of her explaining. You get the media to repeat something so many times that person's name becomes toxic. And then what that person says isn't significant anymore because of the accusations attributed to their name. Nancy Pelosi described how they do this to people.
Is this a clip?
Let's play it.
Go for it, Brian.
Hospitals and the rest of it. So they
Put a one in the chat if you have not seen this, the wrap-up smear. If you have not seen this, I hadn't seen this before this. So put ones in the chat if you have not seen this.
This to people.
Is this a clip?
Let's play it.
Go for it, Brian.
hospitals and the rest of it. So they don't want them to see that contrast. So they focus on something else. And it's a diversionary tactic. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. You demonize, and then we call it the wrap-up smear. If you want to talk politics, you call it the wrap-up smear. You smear
Talking about it
somebody
openly.
with falsehoods and all the rest, and then you merchandise.
I mean, I knew that they did this, but I mean, I didn't know they had a name for it.
And then you write it, and they'll say, see, it's reported in the press that this, and this. So they have that validation that the press reported the smear, and then it's called the wrap-up smear. Now I'm going to merchandise the press's report.
Look at the smile. Well, I mean, that's a freeze frame, but the smile, we just wrap them up and smear them, and then that becomes the truth.
On the smear that we made. And it's a tactic.
Look at that smile.
And it's self-evident. But
Earth to Ron. Earth to Ron. Like, this is what they do. They demonize you in the media to the point where nobody will stand by you and your ideas are ignored because of what you're accused of. This is exactly what they did to me. Ron fell for it. Instead of standing there and saying, we have no evidence of crimes, he has an American passport, it's innocent until proven guilty, I don't understand the Romanian system. What he did was collapse instantly and completely. And liberals.
Right. And there was absolutely a way to be like, look, as he said, I don't know exactly the details of his case. I don't know about how Romania does things. I've heard things that I am not personally a fan of, but, we are a country of laws and he has a passport and that's it. I don't have to like it in order for it to be the law. And I think he would have gotten a lot more support for that because he still would have been able to express that he doesn't like Andrew Tate without trampling over his rights. King Ivana said he can for sure be entertaining, and I like to see more of the entertainment side of him if I have to see him, instead of the usual whiny, perpetual victim. That part of him is old, is all I'm saying. I hear you. And it's a shame that that plays so well for him because as you're saying, he is very entertaining. And when he's not talking specifically about his case and, oh, the Matrix is coming after me, and like that stuff, it gets old. Exactly as you said, it gets old. But he is so entertaining. As I watched maybe 20, 25 minutes of this, and that was my thoughts exactly. Like, God damn, this guy really is an entertainer.
Know this. If you accuse a conservative of something on the other side, the conservatives cannibalize. An accusation is as bad as a conviction in the conservative circles. If you accuse a liberal of something, do you think the liberals care? Let me change it. If a liberal is convicted, if a liberal held a gun to a pregnant woman, if a liberal is a career criminal, they don't care. But our side, if you're accused of something, you're instantly cannibalized. Talk about the weakness in the conservative circle.
I don't know if I fully agree with that. I think this is what Andrew Tate is really good at, is taking one specific thing and acting like it's really generalized. Because we talk all the time about how the left cannibalizes itself. So, I mean, in his case, he's been convicted of things and everybody's jumping on him, you know, kind of myself included. I think I gave him a lot more of a chance than a lot of other people. But at the end of the day, you're guilty as fuck, bro. You may not have been convicted yet. And you may not be convicted at all, but in your own words, the reason that you moved to Romania in the first place was because of the government corruption. Whiny victims. So yeah, we can definitely move to other stuff, but I do want to see what exactly it is that he has to say, and you know, break down those aspects, like I just did, where he said, "Oh yeah, conservatives will tear each other apart," and that's just not really the case. Conservatives will tear you apart. Conservatives will tear Benny Johnson apart for having you on the podcast. Will tear whatever the hell her name is, the lawyer, and they're going to bring it up. For being, I'm a big fan of everything you do. What? Like, you're Trump's lawyer. You just said that. Like, come on. That is the stuff that not a big fan of.
Accused of something, you're instantly cannibalized. Talk about the weakness in the conservative circle. We wonder why we've been getting our asses kicked by people.
I mean, and I'm sorry to jump in again, but what is Trump? Trump has been accused of this, that, and everything else under the sun for the last 10 years, and we're all still fans of Trump. So clearly that's not the case.
People who don't know what gender they are for years, because all they have to do is point and lie. Put it in the news enough times, and they will take out our strongest soldiers. I was one of the strongest soldiers advocating for conservatism.
Were you though? And this is a big thing that we touched on in the member stream yesterday. Shout out to Atheists for Liberty, where we were all in the same anti-wokeness boat. And so whether you were the woke right, or you're more libertarian, or you're more red pill manosphere, we were all together a coalition against the woke. Now that that's kind of dissipated, you and Fresh and Fit, you guys are not conservatives.
And helping men, especially young men, find their masculinity once again. So they just attacked me, and now who's against me? Liberals, yeah, and a whole bunch of conservatives are upset with me. Oh, but
as they should be.
The media said, have you not been through COVID? Do you not remember what the media said about Trump? Hello, Nancy Pelosi just told you what they do, Ron. And he sat
yet who's our president?
There and completely collapsed. I'm not offended personally, and I'm not afraid of his AG because I've done nothing wrong.
You sure sound like it.
And if you want to put me in jail in America, I'm not afraid of that either, because I've just accepted my fate. I'm public enemy number one. However, I actually truly see this, and Ron, this is not an insult. That was a competency test you failed. You failed a competency test as a leader.
I agree. Again, as much as I don't like him, that is crucial that you stick to your principles. The left has positions, no principles. We need to be the party of principles. Arden said Myron of Fresh and Fit realized that the hoe content isn't paying the bills, so he went full MAGA when it was convenient. Well, I think it was paying the bills when they were able to get money. It's the fact that they took it so far and they weren't able to make money. When they were monetized on YouTube, I'm pretty sure they were among the top super chatted channel on the entirety of YouTube. So they definitely were paying the bills. It's the fact that they got banned, so he had to pivot.
Trump didn't. They asked Trump questions, and he answered like a gangster. He answered like a man should answer. I don't know.
And again, I know I'm saying again a lot, but again, that's a very what's the word? A narrative. That's a narrative, because you're assuming now that Trump knows exactly what's good, but he's hiding it from the Matrix. So he just says, I don't know, to keep it. Maybe he just doesn't know. Maybe he just doesn't know. But it makes you seem cooler to act like he does know, and Trump's better, and I can see through it. And can you though? Can you though?
Because he doesn't know. He doesn't know the details of the Romanian system. He's never spoken to me. He doesn't know. That's a correct professional answer.
You
That's
guys
what
have
I
never
would say.
spoken.
I've never spoken to Donald Trump.
So how were you able
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
to come to the States? I heard stories. One of them was, sorry for your loss of your grandmother.
Yep.
I heard the news. And, where one part of the story is that they allowed you to come here for the loss of your family, that you're here. Another one is you're visiting because now you can. But which one is it? What's the reason why you're
I'll tell you why.
Please.
I'll tell you why. But I'm going to finish that point. When you do not know something, the most masculine thing you can say is, I don't know. Trump's like, I don't know. I don't know the details. I don't know. I'll look into it. Instead, Ron knew nothing and collapsed. So Ron failed a basic competency test. That's what I believe. I don't care what he said. I'm not scared of his AG. He failed a competency test. That's his problem and his burden. So that's my view on Ron.
But one thing.
Guys, don't forget about our swole goal at the top of the chat. 10 $2 or more super chats will get me booked up, and maybe even another goal to get Morty some more treats.
I want to qualify this. You just made a commitment to helping him out with marketing if he says yes.
If he pays me.
You're open to it.
Look, I like money. If he'll pay me, I'll teach him how to deal with the media, because clearly he failed.
But
I mean, I said shit. Me too.
all I'm saying is, if you commit to it, they may get a call for 2028. Just be ready for that. But
Absolutely.
yeah. So
if he can afford me, I'm very famous and I'm very important. If he can afford me, if
You hate to love him. You hate to love him.
Ron can afford me, I'll help him out and I'll let him know the reason he failed, because especially, and this is extremely important, and I don't think people actually understand how much subconscious judging that they go through all of the time. When you walk into a room, you're subconsciously judged all of the time.
right.
And small little failures like that, even the people who hate me, even the people who dislike me and are happy he said something negative against me, if you're going to collapse in the face of the ABC or NBC and people who do nothing but lie and start splouting garbage which you know nothing about, how are you going to stand in front of Putin? How are you going to stand in front of Xi? Like, you failed a competency test. I don't believe he's fit to run a country anymore. Thank God he's not president. That's what I think after I saw that. I'm not scared of what he said.
I mean, we all kind of said he wasn't really capable of running the country when he couldn't run his own campaign, but fair point.
Literally think he failed a competency test. Now let's talk about why I was allowed back in America. Well, the first thing is I have a passport. So that's the first reason. Secondly, it's kind of amazing that I'm seen as the #1 fugitive. I have no criminal record anywhere on the planet. I have no criminal record in the UK. I have no criminal record in Romania. I've never been convicted. I've never been convicted of anything in America. I have no criminal record ever. If you go down to the mall in Miami and walk around, you're going to walk past 30% of people with convictions. You're going to walk around amongst criminals.
Really quick, of those of you that are here already, if you already watched this, the PBD thing in full, put a 1 in the chat. Again, I'm just trying to gauge where we're going to go with this. I'm kind of flying by the seat of my pants.
Never been convicted of anything ever. So it's amazing that I'm fugitive #1. That's the second point that's interesting. The third point, and this is what's kind of funny when they tie Trump into me being free. My case was dismissed in December under President Joe Biden. The judge ruled that there wasn't enough evidence for it to go to trial in December under Joe Biden.
Which one is he talking about? In Romania? Because that's, nope, we gotta do it. Oh wait, I already have it open. What am I doing? So let's just take a little detour. Shout out to Willie Mac Show. Let me put the link in the chat here if you would like to check it out in full, because we're not going to see the whole thing. But just in the first few minutes, if you didn't see the video that I put out earlier today, check this out.
We got to view the charges levied against Andrew Tate and compare it to the evidence that was already publicly available. And what we found was him self-snitching for hours on end, selling an online course for how to traffic women for hundreds of dollars.
That teaches basically how I got girls, how I met girls, how I got girls to like me, how I got girls to fall in love with me to work on webcam for me.
And then once when he was arrested in late 2022, he started hiding the evidence, lying in interviews.
You have said, my job was to meet a girl, go on a few dates, sleep with her, get her to fall in love with me to the point where she'd do anything I say, and then get her on webcam so we could become rich together.
No, I've never said that.
And even going as far as hiding pages and removing his website from the Wayback Machine. I'm not one who normally agrees with Sneeko, but I might this one time.
I've always said this on my stream. If they hide it, then it's the truth. If they have to delete it,
then it's the truth.
Then Sneeko agrees with me. This guy is guilty. All of this information is available in my previous video, so if you're out of the loop, that's the place to catch up. And now even more charges have been levied against the Tate in the form of money laundering and trafficking minors. And guess what? He is 100% guilty. How do I know this? Because he won't stop self-snitching. It's all over his $337 course on running a webcam business. So let's start with the new charges. Tate, the Romanian Directorate for the Investigation of Organized Crime and Terrorism, has now brought 3 more charges to the Tates, that being crimes of money laundering, favoring the perpetrator, influencing statements, and trafficking minors. Now, this was translated from Romanian, so I want to address the translation error. Google Translate converts the statement to, "This case was ordered to be dismissed when it comes to these new charges." Tate fans have been proudly spewing this all over the internet, but that's simply not true. It's just that this specific Romanian word doesn't have a direct translation from Romanian to English, so it incorrectly translates to dismissed.
Nothing was dismissed.
This is a common legal phrase used in Romania for when the prosecution is trying to separately investigate.
So this says whatever a word that is, separation from an ensemble of idea or problems. 2, jury, action taken by a prosecuting authority or jurisdiction, let's get rid of that, to separately investigate or resolve 2 or more disputes that would otherwise have been investigated or resolved together. That is a very different thing than it was dismissed. But he knows that it's going to translate to dismiss. And I mean, I would ride with that shit too if I was guilty of this shit.
And charge the individual instead of resolving it together in a single case. This phrase is used in Romanian court all the time.
This is a Romanian term or phrase. This is the one that was mistranslated. So the respondent submitted a counterclaim to the applicant's divorce claim. I'm not sure precisely what is meant by the use of this word in this context. Blah, blah, blah. The explanation is it means splitting the counterclaim into a separate set of proceedings so that it can be decided separately from the divorce application. Yeah, that's what.
Feel free to look it up yourself. But the charges are coming, and Andrew Tate is definitely guilty of at least one of those things.
And this video is from June 2023. So this is not news.
That being trafficking minors. Or as far as Andrew admits, one minor. That being Tate's bottom bitch, Vivian.
Your bottom bitch, the new girl, you go out for a nice dinner. Your bottom bitch is the one who does the selling. You don't do the selling. The girl has to hear from a girl. And this is where your bottom bitch has to be trained. That's why I said it's so important to have a good first girl. My first girl was so good, it was easy. And your whole business has to be built off the back of your bottom bitch. So if you have a girl in mind, you're already fucking her, picture.
Vivian, along with one other woman, is also being charged in this case because she was playing a key role in trafficking these girls to Romania.
Shout out to Colleen Maxwell.
When you're in my situation, where you have a girlfriend of 6 years and you try and bring a new girl in, you actually have to downplay your relationship with the girl of 6 years, which is difficult. And I only get away with that because the girl of 6 years plays along. So Vivian's been with me 6 years. Vivian's been with me 6 years.
Remember this. He's been dating Vivian for 6 years.
She's completely head over heels in love with me. She wants kids with me, everything. And we met and we felt whatever, we're in love. But when a new girl comes, she'll go, oh yeah, I started off working for him and it's just how it worked out. She'll super downplay us so that the new girl feels like, oh, well, they're just kind of working sex. And now I'm here and he likes me. And she can believe in her mind that she can be equal. But that's basically how it works. I've got my main bitch, my bottom bitch, Vivian.
But when Tate first pulled her into this business, it turns out she was young, like very young. In this course from 2019, Tate explains how Vivian was his first girl that he's been with for 6 years when he first started the webcam business.
So yeah, that's how it started. I met Vivian in Slovakia. We had a long-term relationship thing. I was living in England. I moved her to England to be with me to start doing my webcam company, which I started. And you try and bring a new girl in. You actually have to downplay your relationship with the girl of 6 years. When I bring on new girls, I usually pair them with Vivian. Because Vivian's younger. Melissa's like 28. Vivian's like 21.
Do the math on that one. That means
So before we even do the math on that, like I said in my video that I dropped today, I am not a fan of the lover boy law. I don't think that is something that should exist, and I actually think it's kind of sexist, and it's an affront to women's agency. If the law is basically saying women aren't smart enough to make their own decisions when they're in love, which is, I mean, here, neither here nor there, but should not be illegal. But that is the law in Romania. But that's not even what we're talking about here.
That means Vivian was only 15 years old when Tate brought her in the webcam business. That's not even the age of consent, let alone for the creation of pornography. So
15 by his own words. So unless he's lying, he has absolutely trafficked minors, or at least one minor. So the any question of well, he hasn't been convicted. Sure, I definitely respect that. He definitely should be allowed in the United States, all of that. But my dude is guilty as fuck. Shout out Tag. Wow, Tag. Welcome to the party. Said, oh, happy day. Hassan has been banned from Twitch for what, like 3 days? I saw something about that, but I didn't really see what happened. Was it anything like cool? Was it anything interesting, or was it just some bullshit? Welcome to the party, Guam Tech. Always a pleasure to see you. So there's plenty more there that we can dive into as we talk more about this. But yeah, he's talking about, oh, it was dismissed. No, sir, it was not. It is still ongoing, and you still have to go back to Romania to answer for it. Yeah, he also threatened the life of a senator. He also admitted to fraud, if you care about that. I mean, that is a law. He specifically was talking about how, oh, these dumb bitches, you tell them that you got to take an extra this much for taxes, but you actually don't. That's fraud. That's a crime. Is it the worst thing ever? Of course not. But it is a crime.
So 10 years ago, he would have been
old.
Oh yeah, so that's actually a good. Let's
26 with a 15-year-old. Creation of pornography. So 10 years ago, he would have been 26 with a 15-year-old.
There wasn't enough evidence for it to go to trial in December under Joe Biden.
Yet.
Then the standard operating procedure in Romania and every other sophisticated judicial system is there's no indictment in the court. It was rejected by the court to go to trial due to lack of evidence. Or in fact, in our case, it wasn't even lack of evidence. It was falsified evidence. It was illegal evidence, which we can talk about. It was rejected, but for some reason our bail conditions were kept. And they were kept saying the prosecutor believes he might rewrite it and try again. Is this a judicial system? 2 years you keep me trapped in a country, you send an indictment to court, the court rejects it, and they keep you on bail so the prosecutor can spend another 2 years typing up garbage?
I agree. That's BS. That is not fair. But we also have to acknowledge that you specifically went to Romania, again, using his own words. He specifically went to Romania because of the fact that the government was corrupt. So now that you're caught up in this, I don't have that much sympathy for you. Sorry.
Is this a judicial system? I ask all the Americans who are watching this, how much blood do you expect me to give to a foreign country's judicial system? I gave them 3 years of my life, my reputation, missed my grandmother's funeral, didn't see 2 of my children, lost my money, lost my house, lost my cars, sat there, went to court on time, every single time, and it got rejected by the court. And now I'm kept on bail, and eventually they release it and let me fly. Am I supposed to do what? How long am I supposed to sit there while this country decides to try and find charges on me? Have I not done enough? Have I not given enough to Romania? My bail conditions are that I have to return on the 23rd of March. And I'm going to make it very clear to right now to everybody listening. I am going back. I'm going to fly back and obey my bail conditions. I'm not running from anything because I'm not a coward. But I find it completely flabbergasting that people are sitting there going, oh, Andrew, why did he leave Romania if he's innocent? I've been there 3 years dealing with this garbage and I never went anywhere. Let's actually analyze this. Imagine in an American court, they said to you, yeah, you're innocent. Yeah, there's not enough for trial, but you're still on bail. You still can't fly. You still can't go anywhere. We've sent it back to the prosecutor and told them to try again. How long will that take? As long as they want. Is that justice? I ask anybody, is that justice? Is that expected of me?
No, that doesn't mean you didn't commit those crimes.
It's absolutely insane. And all the people who are complaining about the fact I'm here have never been to Romania, don't know the Romanian system, don't know the Romanian judicial process.
Which you definitely use to smooth over any of the things that are easily misunderstood from people not knowing the Romanian system to push it in your direction. Shout out to Cheddar Steve. Welcome to the party. So that AIDS is no joke. Who's got AIDS? Andrew Tate's got AIDS or Hassan? Oh, what's going on here? Hey, we got Trey Williams in the building. Welcome to the party. Very excited to see your thoughts on all of this. We were just, seeing how he admitted to trafficking a 15-year-old, but yeah, he is back in America. And as much as I don't like Andrew Tate, I disagree with Ron DeSantis saying that he's not welcome. He's an American citizen, and he has not been convicted of any crimes that he absolutely did do. Hasn't been convicted. Welcome.
I've been through it for 3 years. I barely understand it. These people are sitting around talking about things when they don't even understand. They don't have a clue what they're talking about. Another question, which is quite pertinent, I want to ask. I've seen a lot of idiots say, Andrew escaped Romania because it was corrupt. If it's corrupt when I get to leave, isn't it corrupt when they lock me up? Or no, it's
if it's corrupt when you decide to go over there to do your sex trafficking and cam girls, is it not also corrupt when, you know, I mean, what point are you trying to make? Yes, we agree it's corrupt, but again, that doesn't mean that you didn't do what they're accusing you of doing. Shout out to Box. Welcome to the party. Very good to see you. Another person I'd love to see what you think about. It's been, I don't think we've covered anything with Andrew Tate since he's been around. So welcome to the party. Very good to see you.
It's corrupt when I get to leave. Isn't it corrupt when they lock me up? Or no, it's not corrupt and they stick to the rules when they lock me up and destroy my life. But after 3 years without charges, when I'm allowed to leave, it's corruption. Think about the dichotomy of that. It's either one or the other. So people are just picking and choosing and doing anything they can because they don't like me. This has nothing to do with due process. These people don't respect due process. They don't care if I'm innocent or not. They just don't like me. Patrick.
I would agree with that. I would also agree with Box here saying men need guidance. The Tate bros are not it. Agreed. And if you missed it, my position so far has been that we need a lot of balance here because he is a bad dude who absolutely has committed crimes, but he has not been convicted of anything, and he does have an American passport. Them's the rules. That's the system, baby.
I have a feeling if I was fat and ugly, none of this would be happening in terms of the hate that I'm getting from the conservative type. But you know when you're like tall,
well, yeah, but you also wouldn't have a platform.
Brown, sexy, and rich. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Nice protect.
Yeah.
Mine's got diamonds. When you're tall, brown, sexy, and rich, they just
2 out of 4 ain't bad.
Just don't like you.
I'm brown and sexy. I'm short and broke, but you know, I mean, at least I could get 3 out of 4. I'm never gonna be tall, but I could definitely get some money. Arjun said Romania isn't as corrupt as he makes it seem. He acted like it was a lawless country where people don't get in trouble. Gets in trouble, then complains. I don't get the thought process. Well, as far as I understand, they do call Romania the sex trafficking capital of the world. Is Romania the sex trafficking country? And is Romania known for? Yeah, let's just go there. Actually, let's get a more specific answer with our Chat GPT. Aha. See, I almost doxed myself again. It's been a minute since I was logged in. So my name's up there. Give me a second here. All right. So is Romania known specifically okay, let's say known for a corrupt government, specifically regarding sex trafficking. Fox said he's an American. He gets to live here, but almost everything else he says and does, I disagree with. Bingo. I said, shit, me too. So let's see. Again, question. Come on, get there. No. Question being: is Romania known for a corrupt government, and specifically regarding sex trafficking? Why is that? Okay, we'll just have to go with that. Anyway, yes, Romania has a significant issue with government corruption and has been widely linked to human trafficking, including sex trafficking. The country is known as a major source of trafficking victims in Europe, with many women and children being exploited both within Romania and abroad. Reports from organizations like the U.S. State Department and Transparency International have consistently highlighted corruption with Romanian law enforcement and government institutions, which often enables trafficking networks to operate with impunity. There have been cases where officials found to be complicit in or willfully ignoring trafficking activities, sometimes even accepting bribes to look the other way. While Romania has taken steps to address these problems, including increased prosecutions and anti-trafficking campaigns, the deep-rooted corruption and lack of a trust in the judicial system remain a major obstacle. Remain major obstacles to effectively combating human trafficking. Okay, so but there's also issues with sex trafficking in America, specifically with border control. How do these compare? Because, I mean, we could easily say that America has its own issues with sex trafficking, but if we want to compare, let's see. The problem and role of government corruption differ. So in Romania, Romania is a major source of is a major source country for trafficking victims in Europe. Corruption within the laws, all that stuff they just said. The U.S. Is a destination and transit country for trafficking, with a significant number of victims being trafficked across the southern border. While the government corruption exists, it is not as directly tied to trafficking as in Romania. Instead, the issue is often linked to weak border policies and enforcement failures. So it more sounds like the Romanian government is more okay with it, whereas the American government is just stupid. Top what? Okay, so what are the top 10 countries? I can't see that. So nope. Countries. Jesus. Fox said he would still be camgirling if he had done it in America. That's just my suspicion. Very possible. Very, very possible. Arjun said, so he's big mad. Romania cracked down on their biggest problem, something he's accused of contributing to, and specifically has admitted to making his nut off of that. So the top 10 countries: India, China, Russia, Philippines, Thailand, Mexico, Bangladesh, Nigeria, Romania, and the United States. So, I mean, they got issues, but we're right behind them. So, take that for what you will.
Mine got diamonds. When you're tall, brown, sexy, and rich, they just don't like you. Any conservative should be sitting here going, I don't agree with Tate, but due process, and he's not been charged.
I've been doing that.
He's not guilty, so he's flying. It's normal. But they hate me so intrinsically. They hate me on a visceral level where they're saying, forget due process, forget the legality, forget the fact that the Romanian judicial system shouldn't be trusted, forget the fact he's
better than, I mean, if at least we're the last one on the list. But I expected that. And there's also a lot of people here, and there's a lot of transit and movement. So I think that affects things, not to make excuses, but I think that's relevant. Jaden said, have you been doing any more videos about political shit? Every damn day, brother. Every damn day. Plus, live every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. And what I was talking about in my members only stream yesterday was covering a discussion I had with the leader of Atheists for Liberty. And it gave me permission, so to speak, to feel like I don't have to be an atheist YouTuber. Even though that is a big part of my message, it is much more a political thing. And so going forward, I'm going to be much more focused on the politics of things. Definitely not going to, keep quiet about my beliefs on religion, but we're going to be doing a lot less stuff where we focus on, Christian versus atheist debate and that kind of stuff. It just doesn't seem to get the conversation going the way I want it. So every single day, and I've started doing regular VODs that drop not going to be every day, but almost every day. So again, make sure you are subscribed and ring the bell so you never miss an Indian Jesus live party or video ever again. Box said, I watched Amazing Atheist become TJ Kirk. It's normal. Yeah, I mean, he went off the rails, man. He went off the rails. I used to like him as the Amazing Atheist, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, I haven't kept up with him in a couple of years, but
forget the legality, forget the fact that the Romanian judicial system shouldn't be trusted, forget the fact he's given him 3 years of his life, forget all that. He's bad. Crazy.
By the way, when you say dismissed, Rob just pulled this up. As of March 3rd, the charges against Andrew Tate have not been dismissed. In December 2024, Romanian court identified procedural errors in the case leading to a dismissal. However, investigations into allegations of human trafficking, rape, and forming an organized crime group are ongoing.
Correct.
Is it still that? Is
correct?
That still
correct. So let me clarify. Correct. Absolutely.
December
2024, my case was dismissed. The Romanian court identified procedural errors in the case leading to a dismissal. That sounds like, procedural errors, no big deal. What if procedural errors are false translations? What if procedural errors are illegal wiretaps?
Notice how the first thing he lists is false translation. So he makes a good point. But the fact of the matter is, it is not. It has not been litigated in court. So the principle of innocent until proven guilty should apply in terms of the law, but that doesn't necessarily mean it needs to apply to the court of public opinion. We heard the words that you said. We heard the words that you said. Jaden's asking about Trump and Zelensky. So all I have to say is that was bullshit knowing Zelensky starting it. I mean, Trump and Vance, they were on the same side, but yeah. Yeah, I definitely never seen Trump that pissed off, and how quick it switched. I don't know if you watched the whole thing, but Trump was very joking around, kind of trying to calm things down and de-escalate things, and then as soon as JD Vance was talking about diplomacy. And not confirmed, but reported that under his breath, Zelensky called either Trump or JD Vance a bitch in Russian or whatever language it is. And that's when things switched. Box said his lawyers must want to sell forever yeet at this point. I mean, they're making money. They're making money. The longer the case goes on, the more money they make. So, I mean, I think they're the happiest people in this whole situation.
What if procedural errors are not respecting my client attorney privilege?
I mean, to be fair, that's what he's here for. Shout out to Matthew King. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the party. I don't know what that says. So I'm not going to say it out loud, but welcome, welcome, welcome. Always good to see you, brother.
Illegal wiretaps. What if procedural errors are not respecting my client attorney privilege? What if they spied on me when I was talking to my lawyer? What if they broke every single law in the Romanian constitution, which is what they did?
Fair. You still admitted to trafficking a minor.
Then they returned it to the prosecutor and said, do it all again. So here it says, oh, it's still ongoing. Yeah, it was dismissed because the whole case is garbage, just as I described. They sent it back to the prosecutor and said, we'll keep him locked up. We'll keep him here. Here's 2 more years. Try again.
Oh, no. Zelensky did not walk out. He was kicked out. He was almost physically thrown out. After the actual press conference, it was more, obviously we don't know exactly what it was. It was more bullshit between the two of them. And they were like, fuck this. Yeah, we're not doing it. And the only reason that there's still a deal to be had is because of the rare earth minerals that Trump brought into the deal. So making deals once again. Buck said he is not going back to Romania, just the vibe I get. Well, he did just say that he is supposed to be back in Romania March 23rd, and he plans to go because I'm not a bitch. I'm a masculine man who's not going to run from anything. And fair enough, we'll see that. But again, we've heard you say, I did these things. So the law is kind of irrelevant to me at this point with this specific case, because I know what I know. And so you may have good lawyers, or there may be bad procedures or whatever it is, but I still know that you did that thing, unless you were lying in your video, which I don't know exactly why you would lie about that, but that's the only way. That's the only way you are innocent. Glumsek said the biggest problem with Tate, in my opinion, is that all his good qualities are surface level. There isn't anything meaningful in his message other than be alpha and unruly and make tons of money. It's not a bad message, but what comes after? How much meaning is there if you have nobody to share it with or influence without getting paid for it? I know a lot of guys in his position that the day they lost so much meaning after they gained what he values so much. And I think you're spot on that is the biggest problem. And that being said, I think it's okay that it's a little bit of a vapid message. I think that's okay, because we need to start somewhere, and you need to be able to hook people. And so I do think the reason that I covered him for as long as I did before I stopped, and now, it's just a news thing. It's not like a yay Trump, or excuse me, it's not a yay Tate thing. Was the idea that these are ideas that he's putting out there that a lot of people don't know how to access or how to start with. And Andrew Tate or Fresh and Fit, they're good entry levels. But exactly as you're pointing out, you have to be smart enough to realize, okay, this is just the surface. And what is next is not going to come from people like that. Well said. Buck said, Trump sent Zelensky to his room to think about peace. Sure doesn't want it. Sure doesn't want it. Now he said, it's the only Russian I know. Learned it in an Xbox Live chat. Fucking bitch. Well, I guess that is confirmed. Confirmed. King Ivana said, I'm curious to see if he wears a suit if he visits again. I don't care about suits. Just wonder if he will be a good lad. A good lad. Maybe. Buck said, Zelensky said in not so many words that Russia would attack us. That works on Europe because they're right there. That is when the convo went off the rails. Trump banished the thought. Yep, exactly. Why is everybody saying this? What does this mean? You're the second person that I think, right? I don't know. Shout out to welcome to the party. So the part where he talks about a white erasure in World War II. Where's that? Give me a timestamp. We could jump around. Yeah, let me know. So actually, let's take a look at the chapters because they didn't have chapters when I was looking at this earlier. So we have slams DeSantis. UK threatens extradition. Describes landing in the U.S. Where are we? We're at 18 minutes. So we are still in this part. So we got UK threatens extradition. Describes landing in the U.S. Responds to Dave Portnoy and Ben Shapiro. I like that. Let's jump ahead to that. It's a bitch in Ukrainian. Indeed. All right. So yeah. If anybody is not against it, let's jump ahead.
Question for you. If I wanted to find out what my audience looks like, and I were to bring it down to 100 people, and I said, okay, let me take all the followers, and let's just say they're in the room together. What do they look like? I'm like, okay, 62% business owners, cool. 3.8% Middle Eastern, great. Politics, family, kids, finance, got it. If I was to go in the room and bring it down to 100 people out of your tens of millions of followers that you have, what do you think your followers look like?
It's a good question. A lot of people would expect it to be
fat, ugly, acne, bad hair, no style.
Be explicitly only male, but it's certainly not. I get a lot of support from females as well. So I would say it's 90% male, 16 to 30, usually younger guys, but all the older guys know who I am as well. It's pretty well spread across the world. It's pretty international. I get letters and support from Mongolia and Thailand and Singapore and Australia and absolutely everywhere, not just the Western world. And I think that's exactly the point that I was just making, Guamtech, about how somebody like Andrew Tate is not going to have a lot of depth, but he's going to have a lot of reach. And so if let's say he reaches just use easy numbers. Let's say he reaches 10 million people, and 500,000 of those people need the surface level information, and also will take that to go and do their own research on philosophy and stoicism and whatever else that is beneficial. I think that is a good thing that we have 500,000 people more that would be doing things that we want, as opposed to them not doing it. Even if there's the rest of them that are just Tate bros, then I think it's still overall positive. The problem is that you can only go so far being that edgy character before you're just a bad influence. And I think he's crossed that line. Gonzek said Tate is Thor before he became worthy. I can see it. Yeah, in Thailand and Singapore and Australia and absolutely everywhere, not just the Western world. And then there's a huge contingent also of females who support me. Traditionally, Republican females, or I've had a lot of letters. And when I say a lot, I mean hundreds of letters from women in Tennessee or Kentucky or
oh my God, I want you to armpay me.
Or Alabama, who are raising their sons without a father. And they say that I help them teach their boys how to be men. I have a lot of support in the Arab world as well. A lot of support from the Middle East. So what's really interesting, I've never actually encountered any kind of negative interactions in person ever besides media. Most people seem to like me. In real life, I've never had anybody say anything negative to me in real life ever once, ever, male or female, ever. Lots of women come up and ask for.
I mean, you're a big dude who knows how to fight. Like, I'd have some stuff to say, but I'm smart enough not to say it to your face.
Photos. Lots of the beautiful Instagram girls, all the guys are DMing or chasing me. So it's quite a diverse audience I have. But primarily because I think I make young men feel motivated. Those are the ones who are most engaged with my content. 16 to 30-year-old males all around the world.
So
shout out to thank you for the New Zealand vibe, which counts towards our SWOGO. And of course, every donation comes with a treat for Morty. All right, for the super chat, we will. So we're at 30. Okay, I'm gonna put it in the chat so we remember. 35, 43. All right, and then wait, context. So the question is then, who's Tate's Loki, and what kind of messed up stuff are they up to? Oh wait, it's Sneeko. Bingo. Exactly. All right. We've got the request. 150.45. 150. We'll back up a little bit. Get some
heritage. And I don't think there's anything wrong as a Muslim to say that Great Britain is a Christian country. It's always been a Christian country, and it should remain a Christian country.
I mean, that is an actual Christian country in the sense that they have a Church of England.
I believe that. I like that they let me visit. That's fine. I would never go to the UAE and say this should be a Christian nation. I would never do that. So why do we do it the other way around? It just seems hypocritical.
But
this is why I wanted you here, bro. I knew you would have some interesting commentary. Trey said he was a bad influence from the beginning, and I think there's a lot of argument to make there. Why do you think that he was a bad influence from the beginning? Because I can tell you, again, as we've discussed, in the after party and Discord plenty of times, I needed that alpha bro type mentality because I just wasn't thinking that way. And I needed to learn about female nature and all that stuff. I was a straight up beta.
Nation. I would never do that. So why do we do it the other way around? It just seems hypocritical.
But that's the point, though. That's the point what a lot of people are making. If you want to live in a place that majority is Muslim, go there. You can move there. If you want to live in a place that's got the traditions, let them stay there, right? That's the whole argument about nationalism. Like if you're proud of your country, no, you shouldn't be proud of your country.
No, but that only applies to white people. And I'm one of the champions of this, even though the hardcore racists on Twitter hate me because they call me mulatto and mixed race and all these things. I don't care. I'm going to champion for it anyway. Only white people are not allowed to love themselves, love their race, and love their countries. Everyone else is.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure what he was saying there. Yo said, I don't like the scummy things he's done, but I think he's a net positive because he tackles difficult subjects most commentators won't touch, like this stuff. Fair enough. And I do think that we need people who are willing to do that. And in the same vein of the conversation I had with Thomas from Atheist for Liberty, the idea, or rather the message or concept or mission of getting men to be better men, I think needs a multifaceted approach. And I can't say that, he hasn't specifically turned a lot of men on to good ideas. The question is, has he turned more men onto bad ideas? That's the question. Buck said, Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof or abridging the freedom of speech or the press or the right of the people peaceably and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. Love it. Love it.
White people are the only ones who could do it. If anyone else flies a flag or says we're from wherever or we're this color or we're this religion.
Oh, my bad. Yo, that makes you the new sponsor of the stream. Thank you so much, sir.
Do we want it? It's fine. When white people do it, it's instantly demonized. White people are the only people who are expected to give up their lands. And it's actually quite, and I say this as a half white man, half black man. It's very obvious. It's very obvious for me to see. And the European countries, you could argue that America was founded multiracially. You could argue that. But the British people are a type of people. They're an ethnicity. They're a type of people from one place and one part of the earth. And once they lose it, they have nowhere else to go. That's all they have. And they're being replaced in real time. And their leader, Keir Starmer, is letting it happen. And if you talk about it, you go to jail. All of this is happening right now. And unless the men do something and replace him with somebody who cares, they're going to be replaced. That's the bottom line of it. I can then argue, I can move on to the point that, we all get what we deserve in this life and that the strong destroy the weak. We could argue that point. I could sit here and say, well, white people, if you get replaced, you deserve it because you didn't do anything about it. I could make that argument, but that doesn't mean it's not happening. White people are being replaced in their host nations. That's obvious for me to see. I don't think anyone can argue against that point. People try.
But
people
that's also a fair argument, though.
No, it's a very...
And I mean, the argument is whether or not that's a good or bad thing. I don't think there can be an argument that white populations in America or UK and things are definitely being replaced. The discussion is how that is happening and whether or not is a good thing that's happening. Gomnick said, I mean, you can be brave and also stupid. I'll applaud his bravery, but I don't see it as a powerhouse of ideas when it comes to calling out new age racism. There's better choices for that message, in my opinion. Fair enough. Fox said, Starmer is a bitch. I feel like I was watching a scene from Starfield, hearing him say boots on the ground the other day. I apologize. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Very fair argument, but that upsets people. Or they deny it's happening. But it is happening. White people are going extinct.
Yep.
You are going extinct. And then when you tell people this, they have lots of different answers to it. But nationalism is feared when white people band together. And then, you can argue, this actually ties back into something that's very interesting. The reason they fear nationalism when white people get banded together is because they apply it to World War II. They say, well, white nationalists do what Hitler did because he was a white nationalist.
The Nerdzies! Shout out to Mighty Mindset. Welcome to the party. Said everybody is soft. Very, very true. We also got our boy Garrett Grant with the 5 gifted. Oh, I'll get that applause there. 5 gifted memberships. Thank you so very, very much. And of course, a treat for Morty. Guys, if you just got a membership, please say thank you to Garrett and make sure you join the Discord, guys. The link is pinned at the top of the chat. It is free to join, but if you are a member, you get access to the whole shebang. Thank you so very, very much. And that makes you the new co-sponsor of the stream. Thank you very, very much. Welcome to Steven. We also got in the building. Said not P. What does that mean? I don't get it. But welcome to the party. Welcome.
Haram!
Bug said straight up NPC. They say, quote, the coalition of the willing. They can't do a coalition of the able. Fair enough.
They say, well, white nationalists do what Hitler did because he was a white nationalist. So they say that when white people get together and are nationalistic, it's like the Nazis. When other people get together and they're nationalistic, it's not. Is this actually true? Is this the largest psyop in history? I mean, World War II has had such a profound effect on our culture up until this point now. World War II is the basis for all good and bad in the entire world.
This is something Dave Smith talks about all the time, that when he's very into the global discussion, and so if he's talking about Israel, if he's talking about Ukraine, if he's talking about Russia, any of these things, he will always complain that people just use World War II as like the beginning and end of everything that we know. And there was stuff happening before that. There's the stuff that's happened after, and not everything is World War II.
If I say to you, name the worst person in history, you'll probably say Hitler. You won't say Stalin, who killed more, because he was on our team.
Or Mao.
I was going to say Mao.
Or Mao, who killed more. Now, I'm not sitting there sticking up for Hitler. I'm just saying that World War II has shaped the modern world, and they use it as an emotional trigger to prevent white people from sticking up for themselves. Guess what I saw in the car on the way here? A terror attack in Germany. A car attack. You see it?
Yep, this morning.
A Muslim ran over a bunch of white people in Germany this morning. But the white people in Germany can't band together to fight against it because then they are what?
Racist.
Nazis.
Yep.
Nazis.
Yep, for sure.
So they use World War
or both
or II. Let me ask you guys a question. If they use World War II to subvert white nationalism to the point of extinction, wouldn't it be truly treasonous if the story of World War II wasn't even true? What if there's another story to World War II? Is it true, the story that we know?
Are we going down the road of Dara Cooper and what was his book? Churchill and the I forget what it was, but Churchill being the main villain.
The version of events that we know. Hitler's just crazy and he just lost his mind. I'm asking questions because in my world,
just asking questions, bro.
I understood that victors write history. Winners write history. Winners are always the good guys. Loser was always the bad guy. Loser had no point of view at all. The winner had all the right thing and they were doing all the right things. So I'm just asking you, if this war is what's shaping the modern world and it is bringing on the ideology which is going to lead to the extinction of the white race, isn't it important we find out if the story we're told is even true? Let me apply this to modern time.
Fair enough. Trey before said that he's always been a bad influence. And I asked why. He said, to me, came off as a scammer from the beginning. He took everything to the extreme. The difference between teaching female behavior and just being degrading, and these young dudes ran with it. Yeah, I think that there was early on a perceived pivot from I used to be this cam girl guy thing, and now I'm not. I'm doing this now. That was me before. And it seemed like he was very good at acting like he had shedded that mindset just because he wasn't doing the things anymore. But again, by his own admission, he scammed people.
If you listen to the media and the story they tell you, Putin's crazy. Putin's nuts. And he's lost his mind, and he has no point of view at all, and he has no reason to invade Ukraine. There's no possible reason. If you research, you'll understand he actually has a pretty good argument. I'm not saying he's perfect. I'm saying that he has his beliefs. We have our beliefs, some right, some wrong. There's no such thing as black and white. There are different varying shades of gray in every single conflict. But the Hitler story, the World War II story, is black-white, because that's how the winners want to write it. And that's how it always goes when the war is over. And the story of Russia-Ukraine is black-white. Ukraine's innocent, we're innocent, Russia's nuts. But if you actually analyze things and understand them really, you'll see it's not that way.
My question is, when you bring this stuff up, because I'm certainly not a historian. As far as I know, Hitler was the worst ever. 6 million Jews. That's the story that I know. And I've definitely heard a lot of people questioning numbers and the actual events and all that stuff. But you have to then have a reason for why that being incorrect is so important to whatever it is that you're talking about. Because there's too much bullshit around just knocking down the narrative of what World War II was, seemingly for no other reason than just be like, see, the Jews didn't have it that bad. That seems to be the only time people are talking about that outside of a few intellectuals. That seems to be the bottom line. And I'm not personally interested in that conversation. So yes, I'm absolutely interested in the truth. But what purpose are you specifically looking at this truth for? Seems I'm just asking a question. I don't know. Gonzak said, let's not forget he started the cam girl stuff because he owed lots of money to very bad people. What kind of person gets into that kind of stuff and then chooses that way of dealing with it? Andrew Tate. Box said, girls were and are BS. Feminism runs deep. What he does is not men's rights activism, which is what we need. Agreed. I think the specifically I would stay away from the specific terminology of men's rights activism because the MRA community has been not a good presence. But addressing like the male loneliness epidemic and all that stuff. Absolutely. But as I said before, he may not be the end all be all, but he is definitely an entryway into talking about these things. And I think that's important, even though he's a bad dude.
So this is a very interesting thought experiment. And that's what I'm doing before the media attacks me. I'm not advocating for anything. I'm not saying anything. This is a thought experiment. If one particular ideology is shaping society to the point where an entire race will go extinct, shouldn't we understand that period of history intimately? Yes or no? I would argue yes. And if that's the case, perhaps when we understand it better, perhaps white people might save themselves. Perhaps.
Explain. How that's the disconnect. So if we understand the truth about World War II, then white people will be saved. How?
I got a question, Andrew. When you were talking about,
and let's not forget that his whole Muslim kick is, going to be very much in line with the Jews.
The UK, and I mean, we do so many stories that, and you even mentioned that it's fallen. When it comes to the was it the Pakistani rape gangs?
Yep.
The Pakistani rape gangs that are doing their thing. In Germany, I remember we reported on this. A bunch of guys, raped that 15-year-old girl in the park, and then the girl that went after the attacker on WhatsApp or Instagram, whatever, they went and they put her in jail. And then Keir Starmer and all these guys, it's as if this group is protected. They're covering it up and they don't want it to come to light. Why would they hide the fact that these guys were Pakistani? Why are they putting in jail the girl that's going after the guy, the Muslim guy that raped the girl and not the guy? Then they walk out of jail.
So this is the problem.
Are you guys familiar with what story they're talking about there? I've not heard that at all.
Problem, right? What they're afraid of is they're afraid of racism and of nationalism and highlighting the problems amongst a certain demographic and subgroup because they feel like it's going to build resentment, and it will. So their solution, and it will build resentment, and I'm not saying that resentment's wrong. It's quite rightful resentment. So their solution is, let's try and hide the problem. But I would argue that one of the key elements, one of the key backbones to a multicultural society is at least fair treatment under the law. How can you expect all these different types of people to live together if they're not treated fairly under the law? How does Dubai survive? Dubai's 80% immigration from people from all around the world, all different colors. Why does everyone get along? Why does everyone go there? Fair treatment under the law. It's a harsh law, but we're all treated the same, right? So in the UK, now we have a double problem. You have the problem of the natural resentment for the results of actions of people who don't share British values, on top of a double standard in the law they're using to try and hide the issue. This is a time bomb. This is a time bomb. That's why they're doing it.
Yeah, Box is absolutely right that MRA is kind of loaded, and it's basically just the male version of feminism, because that's what women in feminism do: try to take away rights from men to bolster themselves. And as you're saying, that's not the way it needs to be.
Because they're scared of white nationalism, and they're scared of that because of the World War II story they told. That's what they're scared of. White people are being replaced in real time, and you know. To lighten the mood a bit, my friend group is as diverse as possible, which means we have the best racist jokes ever. Because it's black guys, white guys, an Algerian guy. True friendship is racism, you know, and we're all it is.
You're actually not wrong.
I have another kid, and they're like, "Yeah, you're black," and like we all make fun of each other. It's fun, right? But it's also very interesting. There are key ideological differences that we're not allowed to address or talk about, which are extremely important for a society. Like the average white family, I would argue, has a different approach towards their financial stability and their emotional investment towards children than third worlders. I would argue that point. You can call me racist, you can attack me all you want. Third worlders will have kids and just have kids. They won't sit and go, can I afford this kid? Can I put this kid through private school? Do I have a college fund? Is it responsible to have a kid now? If you just grab third worlders from anywhere, doesn't matter if they're black, brown, white, wherever. If you get third worlders from anywhere, they just have kids. So when you let them into a country, you have to be prepared for them to have more children than the native population. It would be responsible for a leader of any nation to sit down and say, no matter how many of them we let in, they will outbreed the natives. This is a math calculation that should be done if you're a responsible leader for a country. Am I right? But they refuse to do it. They refuse to even acknowledge it. So you let in 10% of third worlders, it's 10% for a while, but it's not for long. This is a decision you have to make.
Right, but this only isn't this is only an issue when assimilation is not happening. This is only an issue because unless you're a colorist where you need the white people to be white and the brown people to be brown. I don't think that matters at all as long as the culture is represented. And so the American culture is much more important than being white, in my personal opinion.
Something you have to consider is something Europe refuses to even address. And they've let in a lot more than 10%, and more arrive every day. I think 1,200 people arrived yesterday on boats in England. I saw on Twitter. So it's nonstop. The only possible end result is the absolute replacement of the native population, which then begs the question, is a country a place on a map and a name, or is a country the people who live in it?
I think a country is the people who live in it, more so demarcated by those lines on the map. But the people there, again, it's a culture, not a color. And that's the way I see it. I think it's racist to see it any other way. Yeah, definitely come to the port of entry, get in line. That is the way to go.
Because I would argue that if you replace all the British people with people from somewhere else, it doesn't become Britain anymore. If you
unless they become they adopt British culture. Does British equal white, or does British being of Britain?
Took all the Norwegians out of Norway and replaced them with Indians, would it be Norway?
Sure.
I don't think it would be.
No, that's the point. It changed. So, by the way, but Rob, pull up this chart.
But I still don't understand why this matters. I still don't understand. What is the bottom line here?
That shows the net migration for UK from 2019 to 2022. Watch this. So you see the orange color is non-EU coming in. The green color at the top is EU coming in.
Treason.
Watch this stat. You see the non-EU people coming in, flat, great. EU goes up, and then look what happens. 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023. The amount of people coming in every year from non-EU. So they're letting anybody else come in. Now, have you ever seen Dominik Tarczynski from Poland?
Yes.
He's being interviewed and he's being asked about why Poland has the lowest rape, lowest crime, lowest unemployment. And here's his answer, Rob. Can you play this clip?
How many refugees has Poland taken?
Not one.
0.
And you're proud of that?
If you are asking me, if you're asking me about Muslims illegal immigration, none, not even one will come to Poland. Not even one if it's illegal. We took
Shout out to Kathy Newman. So what you're saying is
over 2 million Ukrainians who are working, who are peacefully in Poland. We will not receive even one Muslim because this is what we promised.
But I asked
This
not
quota
about
system
illegal
failed.
immigrants. I asked about refugees. And Jean-Claude Juncker, the Commission president, says that you're racist. You sound proud of the fact that you haven't taken any refugees.
But the point here is he's proud of that because of the amount of erosion to the culture, not because brown people are bad or Muslims are bad. I mean, that's not that's an obfuscation of the point here.
Of course, because this is what our people are expecting from our government. That's number one. This is why our government was elected. But this is why Poland is so safe. This is the reason why we had not even one terrorist attack. Look at the streets in Poland. And we can be called populists, nationalists, racists. I don't care. I care about my family and about my country.
Me too. And so, I mean, it's definitely different in the sense that America is the nation of immigrants and all that stuff. And there isn't so much of a clear, especially white history to this country as much as the values. So it is a little bit more acceptable for smaller countries that are much older, that are not based on building through immigration. I don't think it's the same thing here. So it sounds like Tate is talking more so about the UK than America, which is different. And I don't necessarily know all of the nuances, but from an American perspective, I think this is kind of a silly conversation, even though, clearly immigration is a problem. Clearly, people coming here, I mean, even just the sheer numbers of people coming here, it's not good. Not because they are inherently bad people. It's that they could be bad people, and it's that they don't want to assimilate into our culture. Well, like I said, Poland is based. And Box agrees. In fact, tight.
Rob, you can pause it. Go for it.
Islam is not an excuse to break border laws. I don't know why some Muslims seem to believe it is. That's why Islam has such a terrible name. You can't say I'm a Muslim, so let me in. I don't have to obey border laws. I don't think that Islam is an excuse to disobey the laws of a country. I think it's an excuse to disobey border laws, because it's not an excuse to disobey the border laws in Dubai or Qatar or Bahrain or all these other Islamic nations. You think you can walk up to the border of an Islamic nation and say, well, I'm Muslim, just let me in, I ain't got a passport? I don't think so. I would argue that some of the strictest border controls ever are in that region, which is why they have such a problem trying to relocate refugees and these kind of things. So it's really insane that the white Christian liberal will argue that Muslim refugees have an instant pass to their Christian countries when they don't have an instant pass to Islamic countries. It doesn't matter what their religion is. Countries need a border. And my Islamic faith, I don't feel, counteracts my rationality in understanding that countries need a border. In fact, if you don't have a border, you don't even have a country. It's the prerequisite to a country. If you can't draw a border of that country, it doesn't exist. So Europe is currently imploding. And when I say imploding, I mean imploding in basically every single metric. Crime's going up, wages are going down, energy prices are through the moon, manufacturing's going down. It's imploding. Why is it imploding? Well, it's imploding because it's being run by psychopaths. It's either being run by psychopaths or extremely ignorant individuals who are intent on only finding money to send to Ukraine for a losing war on repeat and shutting up anyone who wants to tell the truth about the things that are happening there.
Yeah, I agree. But as an American who is America first, the problems of immigration in other countries just aren't as much of an issue for me.
And then you have this sectarianism. You have all of this gender ideology and this identity politics, which is tearing the fabric of society apart. Because when a Muslim will do something disgusting and heinous, like be involved in a grooming gang, instead of being disavowed by other Muslims, I just realized that that's him. Haram! The other Muslims seem to start screaming about Islamophobia. And then you wonder why the average white Christian has a problem with Islam. I'm the absolute opposite. If I believe, yes, I am a Muslim, yes. But if you're in a grooming gang, I think you deserve the punishment, the full punishment of the law. In fact, I would wish you to get caught in an Islamic country and see what actual punishment is. I think it's disgusting. I completely understand. Also,
that's why the Islamists are going to include you, Andrew Tate, in the secular world.
This is another thing about rationality that people lack, right? No one would describe me as empathetic, even though I would like to think I am, but nobody would describe me as empathetic. But I completely understand, as a white Christian in the UK, why you would feel threatened by Islam. I understand it. And when Muslims go, you don't have any reason to fear us. Well, he's in a grooming gang, you rape kids. Yo, you're racist. Like, how can you not understand the concerns of these people? And why aren't you doing anything to address those concerns? If you're a guest in someone's nation, shouldn't you try and address their concerns? You know, when BLM was big, I was having an argument with a member of my family. I have the black side of the family and the white side of my family. And I was arguing with one of my aunts. And BLM was going crazy and everything was burning down. And she was saying that black people are not scared, they're not safe to get stopped by police. And she bought into the narrative fully. And I said, if that's the case, I would argue that holding large protests and burning things down is going to make it worse. Why don't you hold large rallies saying, we're Americans, we respect the law, we're citizens, and promote a culture of obedience to the law amongst Native African Americans? Wouldn't that fix the issue? I'm not saying that it's fair. She said, why should we have to do that? Life's not fair. I'm not saying you should have to do that. I'm saying, wouldn't it fix the issue if you promote obeying law enforcement as opposed to promoting burning everything down and disobeying law enforcement? Like, there's this weird idea people have of, why should I have to? That's not fair. Why should Muslims have to reassure? Why should black people have to do that? Yeah, there's lots of why should we.
Why should atheists have to defend ourselves? Why should, I don't know. That's what I only got.
Why should I have to pay for a date?
It is what it is.
That's life. But don't we want problem? Don't we want solutions here? Or are we going to sit down and say, it doesn't matter about the solution. Let's let the problem get worse because we shouldn't have to try. I think that's the biggest problem with a lot of the things we have in the world today. I would argue that the Muslims inside of the UK, if they had respect for the country they were in, if they had respect for the native population and for Christianity, should be doing a pretty good job, or should be trying to make it clear that they are not a threat. Instead, they walk around and try their very best to scare everyone all the time.
Yeah, BLM was never anything good, ever. Anything good, ever. So, I mean, definitely an interesting perspective. Let's jump back to where we were, because I think that is a little bit more in our wheelhouse. But definitely interesting. 35. We'll just go back here. Talking about Ben Shapiro and Dave Portnoy. I wonder what he's got to say about them. Box said the anarchist in me wants it all to get worse. Very small part, though. I mean, I don't, but I definitely get it. I get it. All right, let's dive back in here.
To be men. I have a lot of support in the Arab world as well. A lot of support from the Middle East. So what's really interesting, I've never actually encountered any kind of negative interactions in person ever besides media. Most people seem to like me. In real life, I've never had anybody say anything negative to me in real life ever. Ever once, ever. Male or female, ever. Lots of women come up and ask for photos. Lots of the beautiful Instagram girls, all the guys are DMing or chasing me. So it's.
Do you think that's because they think you're a nice guy or because you have a big platform? Just saying. Guys, really quick, if you could do me a huge favor, if you are new here, please do hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. I am live every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, and sometimes whenever I feel like. Plus, I've just started dropping new videos almost every single day. You don't want to miss it.
Yeah, it's quite a diverse audience I have, but primarily because I think I make young men feel motivated. Those are the ones who are most engaged with my content, 16 to 30-year-old males all around the world.
So do you think obviously, I don't think any of them would be liberals. Is that fair to say? A very small percentage would be liberals.
Correct.
Okay. And a big percentage of them would be conservatives, libertarians, driven, moneymakers, competitive business owners, sales. Some of them would be that, right?
That's another thing that we have to discuss about Andrew Tate being Andrew Tate. For better or worse, there are a lot of young people who probably would be indoctrinated into the woke mind virus and the Democrat establishment had it not been specifically for Andrew Tate. Again, not supporting any of the scummy shit that he's done, but we got to call a spade a spade.
Right? Okay. So this is the part with what some people say about you. DeSantis we already covered, so we can skip DeSantis because you were very direct with DeSantis.
My friend Ron.
Right, that's right. Your friend Ron, you're going to be his CMO to help him with his campaign for 2020, which was very.
If he can,
Ronnie boy. Well, we just heard that Kamala's going to run in 28, so it is very possible that we have a Kamala versus Ron. I mean, not very possible, but it is somewhat possible. Shout out to Josie. Welcome to the party. Said 80% of real men agree with Andrew. The other 20% also agree with him, but can't say it out loud. Fair enough. Welcome. Very good to see ya. Shout out to our boy Guam Tech. No question, no comment, just pure love of the puppy. Of course, every donation comes with a treat for Morty. That's 2, guys. 8 more, and I'm on the floor. Again, check that swole goal at the top of the chat. Thank you so very, very much, sir. All right, diving back in here.
Very kind of you. Dave Portnoy. Here's Dave Portnoy, who is a Trump supporter. He's had Trump on. He actually did a good interview with him.
Interesting.
He's got a right-leaning audience.
Yep.
He says, what's the point of booting out illegals and criminals while somehow becoming a safe haven for the Tate brothers? That's one.
Let's see. Let's read this in full. So Dave Portnoy, if I'm going to be fair, these questions need to be asked today. Why is the release of the Epstein list always a shit show? What's the point of booting out illegals and criminals while somehow becoming a safe haven for the Tate brothers? Why is crypto in the toilet if Trump is crypto king? And how far does Tesla stock have to crash before Elon something or another? So I think the easiest one is, of course, becoming a safe haven for the Tate brothers. They have passports. They are American citizens who have been convicted of no crimes, despite the fact that they've committed them. They have been convicted of no crimes.
safe
2,
haven.
Ben Shapiro. Okay. You know who he is. You and Ben, good friends. You guys, I'm sure you have had dinner already since you've been here. Because
Let's do one by one.
Okay, so let's do Dave. So
Let's do Dave.
Go with Dave. What do you say to Dave? Dave's a guy that's done well for himself. What do you say to him?
This is a discussion we need to get into. This whole, crypto reserve. I'm not really sure what it means and if it's good for crypto investments or not. I definitely need to get into that. But Box is saying buy now, not financial advice from me. Hey, shout out to Josie with the 99 cents. Thank you so very, very much. And of course, a treat for Morty. Very much appreciated. Thank you. Guantag said, I agree with 50% of what Tate says. The other 50% leaves much to be desired. Yep. Arjun said, government will ruin crypto if not done properly. That is what I was really scared of. And when it initially was announced, he didn't talk about Ethereum and Bitcoin. So I was like, all right, well, whatever's going on here, I got into crypto as a hedge against whatever the stock market and the government was doing. So if the government's in it now, is that something I want to be a part of? Or does it go the other way by being supported by the American government? Is the price going to go up? I don't know. Like I said, half is good, half is bad. We will lose the biggest rug pull in history. But you're telling everybody to buy it now. Why are you telling people to get into a rug pull? Arjun said everything rugged within 12 hours after he talked. Yikes. I mean, again, it is a long-term thing, so nobody should be looking at crypto, especially like Bitcoin and stuff, for get rich quick. But yeah, it's something I don't fully understand. Shout out to Equality and Deference because vagina said they are cool crimes. Gonna disagree with you there. Trafficking minors is not cool, in my personal opinion. He also said it could be a good investment if the government starts vacuuming up certain cryptos as far as having a reserve of fictional money. That's the other side of it. If it's going to be similar to what the gold standard was, then that could be a good thing. But again, I fully do not understand. I'm a gambling man. There you go. Well, the biggest gamble of your life.
Let's do Dave. Let's do Dave. Go with Dave. What do you say to Dave? Dave's a guy that's done well for himself. What do you say to him?
I've spoken to him once on a podcast, and I said women couldn't drive, And the face of horror he pulled. I don't know if he was because he was afraid of his audience, and he was like, "Look, I love women drivers."
Is this the one about the IQ stuff that you guys talked about?
We did a
I remember
podcast
that.
once. I said
remember
women
that.
couldn't
Yeah.
drive, and he pulled this fake face of horror because I guess he's afraid of being canceled.
Right.
It was on a Zoom. There was a girl on it.
Yeah,
Another
it
guy.
says
Yeah.
everything you need to know about.
Or maybe you just actually think that women not being allowed to drive is kind of a out there idea.
Dave. I don't know much about Dave. I don't know. I see videos of him jumping up and down about sports teams, and he's 47 with no children and smokes weed. That's what I know.
Based. So the real answer is compound interest, 401k, IRA, etc. Slow growth, S&P 500, and chill. But Arjun's saying it's kind of fishy for the next year or two. But again, long term. So you're gonna have little when in doubt, zoom out. I've already got I think it's a Roth IRA set up. Quality it said crypto equals global tulip mania.
What?
I don't know. What the fuck does that mean? What the fuck does that mean? Fox said, I hope to pull out in 25 years. I hope to pull out every damn time. You know what I'm saying?
He dislikes me. A lot of these conservatives who dislike me for the key reason that I am the hero they want to be.
No. The reason a lot of conservatives don't like you is because you don't stand for conservative values, despite being someone who is a force for bringing people into conservatism. So it's the balance of like, okay, I don't like that this is why these people agree and are voting in my direction, but I do like that they are voting in my direction. So 6 of one, half a dozen the other. At the end of the day, we do want those votes. But now that we've got our president, we don't really need you anymore, bro.
They know I'm the hero of the masculine youth, and they want to be the hero of the masculine youth. Like, why doesn't all the young boys look up to me? All the young men look up to Andrew. They should look up to me. I'm a conservative. I'm a tough guy. No. I don't know enough about Dave to truly say why he has the point of view he has. I would put it down to jealousy because I'm big, tall, brown, sexy.
I think that's what it is.
Patek.
Yeah, with
It's a
diamonds.
Patek
Don't
thing.
forget the diamonds.
It's a Patek thing, but I've got diamonds on mine.
Listen,
Same. I just have yet to meet someone who actually watched Barstool Sports content. I mean, I see it around. I don't know anybody who is a follower. Well, I said I envy his awesome humility. If only I could be as humble as Andrew Tate. Josie said, women can't drive, especially Asian women. I used to work for State Farm Insurance. They literally told us not to give out a policy to young Asian women, especially between 20 and 30. Facts. And I mean, fair enough, but this America, Jack. Either you believe in the principles of America or you don't. That's my opinion.
I think that's what it is.
Patek.
Yeah, with
It's a
diamonds.
Patek
Don't
thing.
forget the diamonds.
It's a Patek thing, but I've got diamonds on mine.
Listen, I think Dave can afford the Patek. I just wonder what, for him saying something like that. Let's go to Shapiro. Shapiro says,
But before we move on from Dave, but this is the thing that's so important. If I was my enemy, I wouldn't talk about me. But my enemies are so obsessed with giving me unlimited energy. I don't tweet about Dave. I don't care about him getting excited over a sports team and masturbating when he's high on weed. I don't give a shit that he has no children.
But that's not hurting anybody, is it? When you traffic people, that's not the same thing.
Children, he's sitting around alone. I don't care about Dave, but he seems to care about me. I truly have a worldview, and this is an actual genuine belief of mine.
That's a really stupid point, bro. That's a really stupid point. That's being like, I don't care about, and put it the other way. Kamala Harris doesn't care about what I'm doing, right? Like, I don't care. But obviously, we care what she's doing because she was potentially going to be in power of the country and ostensibly the world. Different things. Okay. Gotcha. All right. I missed that one. Quality said, give a big LOL to Josie. Guamtech said, I'm glad I'm in life and not in property insurance or car insurance. That could be that. Yeah, that's a different game, right? Josie said, by the way, the glasses that he has on are $30,000. It's on his merch website. Well, I mean, if you're into that, then there you go. An easy $30K, and you can look just like Andrew Tate. Quality Difference said he has the documentation. Asian babies can't drive. Make some rice and shut it, sweetie. Y'all are weird.
And it can't be explained by science, but I guarantee you it's true. If there's enough human beings out in the world consuming calories, they're doing whatever they have to do. They're going to work and they're trying hard to find money to buy food, to eat calories, to stay alive. And they're converting those calories into my name, either by typing it or thinking about me, negative or positive. That is orgons, a word I've just made up. Orgons.
I'm like Googling it right now.
Into the universe, out into the world, which I absorb. Why am I so lucky? Why are my arms so big? How come I have so much money? Because there's all these millions of people around the world who cannot stop putting Andrew Tate orgons into the atmosphere. So Dave has just paid me. Thank you, Dave. But
shout out to all of the haters of the Indian Jesus.
After this little splurt, I promise you, the chance of me ever considering him as a human being ever again is fucking zero.
Really?
I don't give a fuck about Dave Portnoy. I couldn't care less.
But he's just asking questions, bro. As you're about to say, an hour from when you just said, just asking questions. He's just asking questions, bro.
Wow. Okay. What's this one here, by the way, Rob?
That's Dave Portnoy. This is Ben Shapiro.
Let's go to Shapiro. So,
little Ben. One second. One second. I'm Ben. Let me lower my chair. Let me lower my chair down.
Listen, I suggest.
I'm not a fan of the short jokes.
The other day that you and Ben do podcast together.
Listen, let me think about Ben Shapiro. I'm not even going to read Ben's crap. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear Ben's crap. Let me talk about Ben Shapiro.
That I would watch.
Ben Shapiro, the only OnlyFans donates to AIPAC, which pays Ben. So when he complains about anything to do with me helping girls optimize webcam profiles 12 years ago is absolutely hypocritical. He's taking money from OnlyFans today. He's taking money from OnlyFans as it stands.
Ben does OnlyFans videos?
Ben, I'm sure for enough money he would. I'm sure for enough money he would. Midget porn.
I did not know that.
Midget porn.
So Quality asks, for clarification, how old were the Rent-A-Girls Tate trafficked? So many of them could have been of a certain age, but I'll drop this a link for you. Actually, wait, we can just...
Creation of pornography. Hey, bro.
Like 21.
Do the math on that.
Okay. So I don't know about all the girls, but his bottom bitch here.
That means Vivian was only 15 years old when Tate brought her in the webcam business. That's not even the age of consent, let alone for the creation of pornography. So 10 years ago, he would have been 26 with a 15-year-old. His words, not mine.
His words, not anybody else's. So that's not cool. I don't care what you're convicted of or not. Bragging about that is enough for me to be like, oh, I don't want to be around anybody like you. You better have 2 coffees ready? Why is all this stuff going over my head today? Josie said Ben is really a warmonger. He's specifically stated that he is for America because America is for Israel.
Haram!
I can't abide that. And even said Ben is 5'9". That is huge. Well, I mean, it's people like me, but I think Andrew Tate's like what 6'4" or something. So not quite.
OnlyFans are paying AIPAC, which are paying him as it stands.
That's what you're
saying. So
saying.
anything about his pornography crap can go out the window. Anything.
That's a weak argument. I mean, it's media. You know how that works, and it's not direct enough for you, of all people, Andrew Tate, to be calling out stuff like that. That's just kind of nah. Shout out to Zippy DSM Lee. Welcome to the party. I told you we'd be diving into this. Welcome.
Anything about him complaining about my criminal charges, once again, due process out the window. I like to think after what they just did to Trump. By the way, remember, Trump is convicted and he's president. And nobody believes it. I'm not even convicted. And Trump was convicted in an American court, New York. Okay, you can barely call it American, but it's better than Romania. And I'm not even convicted. So he's our president we all respect and look up to. But me with a lower barrier, who's been lower down the chain, they're going to pretend they're offended by for some reason. So what Ben does is say, Andrew's a criminal and Andrew did pornography, even though he takes money from porn and I'm not convicted. And he only does this because he's extremely small and I'm extremely big, that's why he's upset. He's small and upset, and he's just gonna have to sit over there and be small and upset.
Again, that's cringe to me. Be like, yeah, well, you're short. Okay, bro. Oh, you got him. Quality said Tate is 6'2". So yeah, gonna be taller than that.
All right, let's see what you're gonna say about this next one, because this
Who we
next
got?
one,
Who we got?
she's got a lot of credibility. Megyn Kelly. I don't know if you saw what she said. And
No.
Megyn is a G. Megyn's very good at what she does.
Didn't know what she said.
Yeah, she came out and she, the Tampa Bay young Republican said something about welcoming you and Tristan as a free speech absolutist. The Tates haven't been formally convicted of any crime, and we are welcome to speak to our group. He is welcome to speak. We are old enough to remember when a convicted felon won the presidency.
Absolutely.
Free state.
Absolutely.
She responds, "You've lost your ways, boys."
Well, Megyn, I've never spoken to you in my life. I actually saw a few clips of yours. I thought that you were pretty good. I was a fan. You still can't drive, but it's fine. I mean, like, people are allowed.
Zippy said Tate is pond scum and should be ignored and outcasted. Well, that didn't seem to be very easy for you to say yesterday, bro. I'm just saying, this is all I was trying to say yesterday, and you were coming at me, not convicted, all that stuff. That's exactly what I've been saying. Box said men need better rights. We don't have to take rights from women to get them. We just have to demand them. And this is the convo we are having. Let's talk about child support laws. Yep. Dylan said the Dude Bro Act from Tate got old a long time ago. Yep. Indeed. Quality said Megyn Kelly, I find a skeletet annoying. I mean, she's very corporate. She comes from the corporate world, but I think now and then she, I'm subscribed to her channel. I don't watch very often, but she has had some good interviews for sure. Shout out to J Dog. Got the gifted membership from Garrett Grant. You are very, very welcome. Make sure if you are not already in the Discord, hit the pinned link and let me know so I can give you full access, including the after party.
People are allowed.
Maybe driving classes.
People are allowed.
It's one is marketing, the other one.
Oh, man. You can't drive, Megyn, but you can have an opinion. It's a free country. You can have your opinion on me, and you can be offended by me for some reason. You can give me your orgons, Megyn. You can sit and you can eat your food and you can talk around the table about how Andrew Tate's a bad guy, and then one person out of the group will argue with you. Before you know it, there's all these hour-long conversations about Andrew Tate I don't even know take place. I just seem to keep getting all these orgons from somewhere. Megyn Kelly's allowed an opinion on me. It's a free country, and I'm allowed an opinion on her. My opinion on her, from what I've seen.
You're not saying anything. You're not saying anything. You've said that 4 times already, and either make a point or move on. Quality said, Box, as long as women can vote, men are not going to get justice. I don't like how much I agree with that. I don't think it is true, but it is certainly an issue. Any Film said, is it weird that I get a Milo vibe off of Tate? I don't think he'd appreciate the comparison. I don't either, but I definitely see it. Shout out to Josie again, with a 199. Thank you so much. Adding to our swole goal there, said Megyn Kelly is needed, even though she don't like Tate. I agree. I think a lot of these voices, instead of just having one narrative like the left, I think it's way better to have people who are for it and against it. And that's why I had an issue with in the beginning when he was saying on the right, if anything, then they'll cannibalize you. Well, some people will because that's their opinion, but other people won't. As we know that the left is cannibalistic. But in this specific case, because he believes he's innocent and people are unfairly judging him, then he's like, oh, this just happens to everybody. No, it doesn't, bro. No, it doesn't. Guamtag said if Tate announced some kind of charity or anything that would actually help people, I would respect him more. Big talk is one thing, but people should actually know how much you care. Great. Zippy said Tate and Trump are 2 sides of the scum coin. Only Trump has class and tact. And then again, same for most in government. Agreed. I don't know what that is, but Box doesn't. Oh, about the saying if women, where is it? As long as women can vote, men are not going to get justice. Box said, I don't believe that, but I do like to joke that the country started going downhill when we let the women folk vote. It is what it is. Dylan said the thing with guys like Tate is they just say or go along with things that resonate with the right / politically homeless people, and that's enough to make them be all good in their book. Yeah, it's as Guamsek was saying, very superficial, and we know how superficial people can be. Orange, it depends on the action to get cannibalized. Cancel culture was only from the left. Exactly. Dylan said, and yet some people and influencers jump down the throats of former leftists and gay MAGAs for dumb reasons. All that aggression gets misfired at them. Fair enough. He said, and child support, then women will have to grow up. There you go. There you go. Now we are getting somewhere. Women came after the black men. We did. Who's we? What you mean we? I didn't do shit about that.
Megyn Kelly's allowed an opinion on me. It's a free country. And I'm allowed an opinion on her. My opinion on her, from what I've seen, is pretty positive. But she can say whatever she wants. I'm not offended by it. I don't take it personally. I'm sure she may have seen some clips which are out of context, which we've discussed before and we'll discuss again. And they're never going to let drop, but we can talk about that. That's fine.
Would you speak with her?
Oh, yeah. She doesn't know me.
No. Meaning, let's just say Megyn invites you. Would you speak with her? Would you do a show with her?
I would love it. And she'd sit me down and she'd try a BBC style hit piece and she'd be very disappointed by how badly she gets wrecked. But I would happily wreck her. Yeah. I'd happily destroy Megyn. Sure. And I'd teach her to drive afterwards. And then we can be friends.
Listen, what a big heart you have.
I'm a nice man.
The idea
Megyn, I'm nice. Where's all this negative? I'm a nice guy.
Okay. You know where I'm going with this? This is kind of where I'm going with this. The reason why I'm going with this is the following. Is I'm really trying to find Josh Hawley, respected guy. Okay. This guy's a respected guy. I don't think conservatives should be glorifying this guy at all. I certainly don't think that we should be using any influence in our government to try to get him out of what seem to be extremely serious charges in Romania. So I would hope that we weren't involved in any way.
Agreed. Shout out to Senator Hawley.
Josh Hawley.
Sorry, wait. Who?
Rob, can you pull up his picture so he knows who Josh Hawley? Big YouTuber.
Who?
Oh, yeah. You've been locked away in your house for 3 years, but Josh Hawley's been out here doing fucking awesome work. So who? Cope harder, bro. Cope harder. The act is so transparent at this point. Like, come on. Guys, we are 4 minutes away from the end of the Swole Goal. Get those super chats in if you would like the Swole Goal.
Josh Hawley.
Sorry, wait. Who?
Rob, can you pull up his picture so he knows who Josh Hawley? Big YouTuber.
Who?
Pull him up. Josh Hawley.
Who?
This guy right here.
Oh, soy face.
By the way.
Fuck him.
Tate,
fuck him.
He is respected. He is respected.
Not by me.
He carries weight.
Not by me.
Okay.
Well, that makes me respect you less. That makes me respect you less. Like, I'm sure that, the 17-year-olds that follow you, oh, Tate said he's not cool, then he's not cool. Josh Hawley has infinitely more respect for me than you do, Andrew Tate.
So
next,
in a serious conversation, why do you think some of these
can he have a serious conversation?
These guys, Megan's a family person, Josh, family person, Dave, fair. You want to say what you want to say about Dave? Single, doesn't have kids yet, all that other stuff.
I forgot. Isn't it Dave who?
Dave Portnoy, right?
Oh, cringe. Oh, I forgot. I forgot. I'm turning into an owl, like Dylan's saying. God damn. Hey, shout out to Boss with that too. Dollar, make you holla. Thank you. So very, very much. Said, test. Hello, world. Hello, Vietnam. What is it? What's the thing with Vietnam from the thing? I forget. Something Vietnam. What am I missing? It's the Bill Murray thing. Hey, Josie with the $5, $4.99, whatever. Either way, so the Tate brothers have a $20 million a year charity they give to homeless children and shelter dogs. Well, there we go. That can we see him? Yeah. And of course, a treat for Morty. Thank you so much. And I believe I got to do the math, but I believe that makes you the new sponsor of the stream. There you go. Let's double check here. We had the 5 from that. We got 2. We got 5 and 7. Yes, indeed. 8. There we go. Thank you, Josie, so very, very much. You are the new sponsor of the stream. Very much appreciated. And great information, because I did not know that. And I certainly didn't look for it. But, I think that is a testament to the fact that It's not all black and white. It's not all that he's just this horrible person. It's just, to be good morning. There we go. Good morning, Vietnam. Thank you, Andy. But it also is a very common thing for just rich people in general to use charity as a way to offset the bullshit that they do in their lives. But hey, charity is charity. Bog said, I'll give you $20 if you can tell me the first and last word said on the moon. All right. First and last word said on the moon. One was the first one. The last one was mankind. There we go. Context of the fake posturing really comes off as lip dink energy. Absolutely. It comes off as insecurity and overcompensating. Absolutely. Small dick energy. Yes, I did mean good morning, Vietnam. Yep. All right. So what are the words then? What is happening?
Let's say about Dave, single, doesn't have kids yet, all that other stuff.
I forgot. Isn't it Dave who?
Dave Portnoy.
Sorry,
Right?
I forgot.
You got Ben Shapiro, Family Guy. On the conservative
Ben
side.
Shapiro's not a Family Guy. Ben Shapiro's a midget warmonger who, if he got sent to war himself, would piss his little pants, sitting down and spending the last 10 years advocating for big, strong men to go die in ditches while he sits at home collecting money. Ben is a warmongering piece of shit. He's not a Family Guy. Ben's actually a bad person.
I mean, you could be both. And I think that's, kind of not hypocritical, and but you technically can be both.
And I'm saying that genuinely. I don't usually have personal beefs with people. Ben is a bad person.
Tell me why.
You don't need to know much about him. Look at his history during COVID. Look how he pushed for everyone who didn't take the vaccine to not be able to fly and leave their house. Look at all his warmongering. Every single war, he's desperate for people to go to war permanently all of the time. And then he sits there hypocritically and say, oh, yeah, Andrew Tate's accused and porn, while taking money from OnlyFans himself. He's just a bad person. Ben's just a bad person. That's the truth about Ben.
Okay, so that's your opinion. Stick to the Family
That's
Guy.
a fact, sir.
Okay.
That's a
fine.
fact, sir.
So
That's a Diamond Patek fact.
Stick with conservative families.
Okay, so the first word spoken on the moon was Houston, and the last word was America. Did I win? Zippy said the pimp wife beater is calling Shapiro a bad person. All right, well, I mean, where are you getting your answers then, bro? Come on, bro.
Okay, sure. Why do you think they have a challenge? What do you think it is?
Quality said, Ben is a horrible person, spelled like whore.
Purely with the values and principles. Because you talk about justice earlier. Justice is important to you, right? And I've watched you. I'm a family guy.
Yep.
I got I got a wife. I got 4 kids. Yep. I got 2 boys, 2
Only
girls.
4.
And listen, if I had it my way, I'd go to 20.
Everything.
Look, I'm sure you like seeing Elon having his 14th. I'm sure that for you
We
is
all
kind of
understand each other. Let's put it at that. Let's leave it that way.
Yeah, but the point being, we've spent time, and we'll sit down and I say, yeah, that's just not my lifestyle.
Yeah.
So Arjun's asking, does anyone know if that woman getting smacked by Tate on Twitter is real or fake? It is real. However, it was she herself came out to say that was, they like that type of rough sex stuff. So essentially fake. Like it actually happened, but it wasn't any type of abuse or anything. So, contact and 1. There you go.
But the point being, we've spent time, and we'll sit down and I say, yeah, that's just
wait. Sir, we have a technicality here. Yet again. You said you will give me if I can tell you the first and last word said on the moon. Contact was the first word, and 1 was the last. I did it! I win!
Leave it that way.
Yeah, but the point being, we've spent time, and we'll sit down and I say, yeah, that's just not my lifestyle.
Yeah,
I would do it this way. Him and I don't see face to face here. We disagree here, but we get along. We have a respectful conversation every single time.
Absolutely.
But why do you think some of the conservatives who are net positive to society, why do you think they have a problem with you?
Oh, I know that a lot of people have problems with me, and I completely understand why.
Specific to conservative stuff.
Well, the conservatives that have a problem with me see me as extreme, and they see me as degrading to the society, not understanding that in every single contingent, in every single battalion, you need to have people who do different roles and do different things.
Hey, my boy. I was only kidding. You didn't really have to do that, but I very, very, very much appreciate that. $20 making me holler. Let's give him a full block here. A full block. Look at all of that. And he's loving it. And of course, that makes you the new sponsor of the stream. Thank you, thank you, thank you so very, very much, sir. A man of his word. A man of his word. I respect that, sir. I respect that to no end. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Very, very much appreciated.
Single contingent and every single battalion, you need to have people who do different roles and do different things. I may be extreme, right? I may be seen as a rebel or an outlaw, or I may have extreme views or do extreme things. But I am extremely important in the battle against liberalism and the insanity and the communism of the world today. I may do a different job. Yeah, a sniper does something different than an assault troop.
This is exactly the discussion that Thomas and I were having about attacking whatever it is that we're attacking, but having a multifaceted approach and looking at it as a military thing, and that you need the infantry on the front line, but you need the artillery behind them, and generals at home doing all that stuff. Right.
In the communism of the world today. I may do a different job. Yeah, a sniper does something different than an assault troop, but we're all necessary. So they think that I'm not on their side because I don't live the same as them. But let's be honest. And I want to state this without arrogance. None of these people who were sitting at home, white picket fence, perfect upbringing, never had any of the terrible life I had, because I had a very hard life, never had any of the struggle I had, never had any of these things, who were criticizing me for my views and things I've done. None of those people moved the needle like I did.
And again, true, but you want to bring it back to that? Hitler moved the needle, bro. I mean, that's not the strongest argument. Equality, I said, respect to Box. Absolutely respect. Josie said, what was the first song played on the moon? I know this. It was something on the nose. It was something on the nose. It was something about the moon. I'll see you on the moon. Fly you to the moon. Fly me to the moon. I don't think it's take me to the moon. Let's go with fly me to the moon. Fly me to the moon. Arjun says, Seasons of the Abyss by Slayer. Don't think that would be it, but that would be based.
Who were criticizing me for my views and things I've done. None of those people moved the needle like I did. I was a cultural force. And I was a cultural force for the good guys. I'm not saying I'm a perfect person.
Hey, I can get this one. All right, let's see. I already gave an answer, so let's see. What was the first song played? Fly me to the moon! Called it. I mean, unless AI is wrong again, I will definitely admit that Google AI is not the best. But I knew it had something I knew it was on the nose.
Cultural force. And I was
and even Dark Side of the Moon would have been a not a second guess, maybe a third guess. But I knew it had the word mood in it.
Cultural force for the good guys. I'm not saying I'm a perfect person, but soldiers are not perfect. Warriors are not perfect. The special forces operators, every single Navy SEAL you can find has put a bullet in a kid's head, but he's doing it for his country. You can't be a good warrior if you're a perfect person.
Well, apparently, 54% of you guys disagree with that statement, that despite the fact that he is a force for bringing people into the conservative movement or the MAGA movement or whatever you want to say, not a force for good in America. And I think that doesn't mean that there aren't positives. I just think the negatives outweigh the positives. That's fair, right? Wait a minute. So I'm getting the money anyway. Thank you. Said this looks like French. I don't know. How do you say that? Tourneur dans la vie? I'm not good with French, but I wish we could play this, but I don't know how to see it. But hey, thank you so very much appreciated, even when I'm wrong. I love this support. Thank you so very much. Really appreciate that. Bog said that two parties is the biggest scam there is. The rich just buy both sides. Two is the cheapest option for them. Makes sense.
In a kid's head, but he's doing it for his country. You can't be a good warrior if you're a perfect person. If I had no bad history, never swore, didn't know any women, and I sat at home and a white picket fence and I was completely legit and I'd done everything by the book, I wouldn't have the impact I have. The reason I can speak the way I speak is because I understand the struggles of young men, because I grew up in the poorest possible socioeconomic area in the UK. My finger came off. I was stabbed. I made money an illegitimate way. I managed to clean myself up, get up.
Did you though? Josie said it's actually Andrew Tate's song. I just wanted you to play it. Well, we're on YouTube, so we can't play music. But so wait, it is "Fly Me to the Moon," right? Let's see if we'll get a little taste. A little taste, just a little taste. Let's see.
Il en était fier au moment des bien plus que ça. Sa vie de tourner dans le vertige. La douleur des fonds puisqu'il n'est plus là.
Not bad. But yeah, if we play any more, then they are going to claim that. So I knew it. The gaslighting.
How dare you?
Can't believe it. Buck said he grew P on the island. What does this mean? And what I don't know what you're referencing.
Get up out the ghetto, clean things up, teach men how to be strong, how to be resilient. I have a life story. So these people see me as their enemy for some reason, not understanding that all of those elements that they don't like are the reason I am the force I am. If I had a perfect, easy little life, I mean, I've had it all the time from these conservatives. They're a pastor and they live in Nebraska and they married their first love and they have a white picket fence and they go to church every Sunday. Great. Good for you. Guess what? Most men in the world don't care what you say because there's no light without dark. And I have enough dark to bring the light. So you have to stop seeing me as your enemy because I don't live the same life you do. That's the reason I have the impact I have. I'm not going to apologize for being me. I'm not going to apologize for the circumstances I was born in either. I'm not going to apologize.
I don't think anybody's asking you to apologize for the circumstances you were born in. I think people are asking you to apologize for the crimes you've committed.
You know, it's truly crazy. They say, oh, Andrew said this on video. He should go to jail.
Uh-huh.
Didn't 50 Cent sing that he was a pimp? Why is he not in jail? There's a video of 50 Cent on YouTube saying he's a PIMP. Is he locked up? No. Videos are.
Did he actually do it? And did we prove that? Go after him then. Anybody can sue anybody. But, just because other people have done bad things and aren't caught doesn't mean that you should go free. That's not the way the world works. I said, I judge by actions. I said, shit. Me too. Quality and deference heading out. Thank you so very, very much. We'll see you on Wednesday.
Aren't real, right? So none of this stuff is real. It's just YouTube garbage. And
okay, Jim Carrey. None of this is real. I just want to find the fakest thing I could do, and this was it.
They take it and they pretend that I'm the one degrading society, not the warmongers who are sending us into endless wars, not the drug dealers who are pushing drugs, not the liberals who are trying to chop your balls off.
But again, false dichotomy. It's not either we go after liberals who are trying to chop your balls off or sex traffickers. That's not a thing. They do bad, and that's bad, and we condemn that. And you do bad, and we also condemn that. Yeah, so there you go. Like I said, I don't need him to be convicted to have my opinion. If everything he did was legal, it's not cool. Bingo. Exactly.
No, it's me. I'm the bad guy. You know, Kissinger. He's Kissinger, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Henry Kissinger, yeah.
He said a whole bunch of negative shit about me. Wasn't he pro-Iraq war? Wasn't he pro-war, Kissinger? I don't know the exact schematics of it. But there are literal warmongers. There are literal warmongers who are begging for people to be blown to pieces then tweeting that I'm the bad guy.
Yeah, you're both bad guys. They maybe are more of bad guys, but you're still a bad guy. People being worse than you doesn't make you good. And as your religion would tell you, that morality is not relative, in your opinion. So wrong is wrong is wrong is wrong. Dylan said, and again, this is in fact where he is right, where he is liked. Men do and have clocked to him, but much like Fresh and Fit and the Red Pill sphere, these are extreme reactions to radical free bleeder. Radical fem cells. Fair enough. Box said, warmongers, what color is your Bugatti? I mean, but that's kind of buying into the talking point that, oh, well, they're worse, so I should be good. They're worse, so you should just not even worry about me trafficking a 15-year-old.
What?
Like, that's not how that works. Not for me, at least.
How the fuck does that make sense? So
because you did a bad thing.
These conservatives need to really, truly identify who their enemy is, and it's not me. The reason they hate me so fervently, the reason they dislike me, is because I get the attention they wish they got.
What did
Kissinger
say about you?
Oh, something like I'm bad and I shouldn't.
Kissinger's dead.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe I know the wrong name.
Adam Kissinger or the old Kissinger?
I don't know.
This is Adam Kinzinger.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Oh, no,
Henry
Kissinger is dead. No, I want to make sure
I don't know who
Kissinger
these
was
people
a
are.
very
Henry
heavyweight
Kissinger
guy.
was a
Well, he died in
former
23.
Which, by the way, you're right. Kissinger was a guy that caused war a lot.
Oh,
but you may be talking about Adam Kinzinger.
Is he pro-war?
Adam Kinzinger is not going to be fan of you.
No, for sure not. So let's
That's what that's from, right?
let's be professionals. Can everyone stop being emotional and calm down? Let's be professionals.
You're the most emotional person that is on my screen or has been since we started.
People, no.
We're the ones being emotional, Andrew.
No. To the conservative audience, the people who allowed you to be locked in your houses and lose your business and are sending your tax money abroad to fund endless wars and have murdered millions of people around the globe
are bad. Yes, nobody is arguing with that. At least nobody on this stream. Nobody's arguing with that. Those are bad people. Does that mean that because that is worse, that I can go murder a puppy?
Stupid. Are saying I'm the bad guy. The people who are on Epstein's Island, who
are also bad guys,
own the media outlets, are saying I'm the bad guy. And
you are.
You're not mad at them. You're mad at
I absolutely am.
Me? Are you a moron?
Are you? Are you under the impression that you can only be mad at one person ever at a time or ever? That's what it seems like, dummy.
Are you stupid now at this point? This has been going on for 4 years with federal agencies from the USA, the UK, and Romania trying to pin me down, and they can't. Is that not proof of...
He's not kind of the bad guy. He is the bad guy. There's just other bad guys as well and other worse bad guys. It's not complicated. This is cope. And I hate when people overuse this whataboutism term, but this is exactly where it fits. You're saying, but what about them? What about them? They're bad too. You're just also bad. Arjun said, if you ever get to a point where you compare yourself to Epstein's group of people, you're definitely guilty. Great point, sir. Great point. Box said it's not that he can't have redemption. He's just not even close at this point. Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely somebody who's interested in grace and giving people grace, especially learning what very, very little I have from the parasocial nature of being, the guy on screen and then everybody talking and having their opinions and the imbalance. So I can definitely see how there'd be things that I would say or express that would be taken in the wrong way. And so I would want the opportunity to that you and anybody, you guys and anybody else would have the grace to hear me out and let me clarify something that I said that you didn't like or you thought that was bad or whatever. But he's not trying. He's doubling down. I said, oh, Tate, a true king doesn't need to shout to command respect. That's 2 in a row. Dilly. We see through you, Top G.
Evidence? Is that not evidence of innocence? What more could you possibly ask?
No, it literally is not. Other people being guilty is not at all evidence of your innocence.
You take any one of these governors, senators, media outlet people, any of them, put them under the same scrutiny I've been under, and they'll all be locked up.
Agreed. Right next to you for the crimes that you committed.
Every single one, for corruption, for racketeering, for influencing, all of them. But me, I seem to walk every single case. And then the conservatives are getting psyoped into believing that I'm degrading society. Me, not the media, not the fake news, not the transsexuals, not the drag queen story hours, not chopping your balls off.
Oh my God, this is getting bad. This is getting bad. So she said, by the way, a rumor is that the Trump administration told Romania to let him go because of lack of evidence. And I believe that. Do you guys remember when Benny Johnson had him on? Actually, let's do a little side quest here. Let's go to Twitter. Benny Johnson, Andrew Tate. Should be pretty pretty well. This is what I was gonna look for. The thing where she was like, oh my God, like I love everything that you do. Is this it? Is this the whole? Give me the full thing. Come on. What, Twitter, why are you so bad at this? Yeah.
Parenting and supporting people with different opinions. I'm all for getting in an argument.
And she joins us live right now.
Hey.
Hello, Alina.
Hi.
Hello.
Nice to meet you. I'm a big fan.
Well, not
a big fan, are you? A big fan? Well, sounds like you're in a position to want to help this dude.
Nice to meet you. I'm a fan. You're the one saving Trump. You're doing more important work than me.
America, not just Trump. And I agree with everything you just said. And I think that your anger is the same that President Trump has for our country. And the time is now for us to stop being wimps. I think that's exactly the right sentiment. And I also have to say that I sympathize with you because I think you go through a lot of the same, show me the person, I'll find the crime that President Trump has gone through. And it's ironic that.
And yet again, that can still be true. And also he's guilty. The brain rot, just like woke adherence to anything goes both ways. So if you're watching this and be like, oh, well, Trump got a bunch of court stuff and Tate got a bunch of court stuff and the liberals don't like either of them, so they must both be innocent. If that's the way that you are assessing these things, then yes, you are fucking stupid. But said I take 95% of this impersonally. I just like the idea of a fight of talk, chat, and ideas. This is how we progress. Side quest of the day. Amnaranth got robbed and 2A'd someone. I don't know who that is, but hey, shout out to 2A.
Not sending our young men away to die in a ditch. No, me. Because what? I made a joke saying women can't drive?
No, because you trafficked a 15-year-old and many other people.
Well, there seems to be a
So-
common thread with the conservatives, by the way. And it's, you kind of alluded to it by the pastor in Nebraska as an example. They're marrying their high school sweetheart, one woman, have sex with one woman, that's who you marry.
Like conservatism.
Where you're viewed as a womanizer, and you proudly said this.
I wish.
But yet Elon Musk gets a pass.
Well, no, but this is the thing. I did a long 30-minute video on this exact subject. But I want to talk about this. In fact, let me put my sunglasses back on. So
And by the way,
I want to look cool. Let me look cool.
Damn.
I wish.
Loser.
I wish.
That's so cringe that he just did that. That's so cringe. Let me look cool. Like, he's acting like he's pretending. But he's not.
I could meet one woman in high school and fall in love with her. I wish I could. That sounds like a blessing. And I support them absolutely. But I didn't. I grew up a different way, and I didn't. And truth.
And yeah, Josie, I mean, you're touching on exactly what he's saying. That, like, yeah, the Democrat Party is not going to be the best at, shining a light on these things. But that doesn't mean that you're innocent.
Truthfully, I have a different worldview. Now, we can go down this whole conversation. Perhaps we should. But I did a long 30-minute video on Elon and his recent baby drama. And I was explaining that all the people who are insulting Elon don't seem to understand that at his economic bracket and at his capability and at his mental, with his challenges that he's facing, I don't know the guy personally, but I would argue that his primary interests are rockets in space and Tesla. He's probably not that interested in sitting around with girls and having date nights. He wants to do rockets and Tesla. So what does he need from females? Children. So that's what he does. Does he pay for them? Does he take care of them? Are they safe? Does he love them? Yes, but he has other concerns.
But he is not out here preaching about women. He's not out here preaching about relationships and about what you should do as a man in regards to women. So that's why he gets a pass. He doesn't get a pass. He just isn't as much of a focus because the things that he talks about are not this.
This is the business of kings. That's what kings do. Progeny, sons, heirs, cool. Back to work. I understand Elon, absolutely. Trump does the same thing. He has 3 or 4 baby mothers. I don't know. This is the business of kings. If you have the financial capability to take care of 5 or 6 different women and they're all happy to birth your progeny, then you're going to have a whole bunch of children.
Well, then it's okay to traffic a 15-year-old.
What? This once again comes down to jealousy. The pastor in Nebraska is jealous of me because I will always have more kids than him because I can bake more bread because I have more ovens.
I wish it was something that I could possess to be so positively delusional that no matter what anybody said about me, I'm just, oh yeah, you are only saying things negatively because you hate me. And everything that I say is perfect. I wish I could feel that. I understand that it wouldn't be conducive to being a social person, but it's got to feel awesome. It's got to feel awesome. I already feel like I kind of understand things a little bit better than most people, but not on this level. Buck said, street kids happen when there's no child support. We'll say street kids happen when there's no support for the child. Child support is a specific thing, and that's another conversation, but I agree with the sentiment. Guantex said, come on. Maybe I'd respect Tate more if I sparred with him. At least I have a chance to release some of my annoyances on him. There you go. Hit him up. I'm sure he'd be down. That'd be good content. He's a kickboxer, BJJ guy. Who knows?
The pastor in Nebraska is jealous of me because I will always have more kids than him because I can bake more bread because I have more ovens. You can be mad. You can hate me for it. You can say I'm the bad guy. But my children are paid for. They're safe. Their women are paid for. Nobody's unhappy. Everybody's happy. That's the scenario that we're all in. It's my life decision. It's their life decision. And it's nothing to do with you. I don't criticize you making your decision, so don't criticize me making mine. That's
but your decisions are crimes.
The bottom line of it. But they're jealous I have more influence than them. I understand, but to sit there and pretend that it's a threat to society that I have a whole bunch of rich women living in mansions having children that we're all happy is garbage. There's much larger threats to society.
Did anybody ever hear anyone ever say that that was their complaint about Andrew Tate? Exactly. Well, I said, why would I hate him about his child support obligations? He's just throwing shit at the wall. This is obfuscation. He's obfuscating what the actual issue is, and he's very good at it. He's very good at dancing around and talking around the issues. If you don't have the eye to, or the ear rather, to hear what is actually happening, which, you know, if you're under 20 years old, then you probably haven't had a lot of experience with someone like this to be able to break down what it is they're actually saying. It's going to sound good to you.
Than that.
Just to specify, because if you're going to say this pastor from Nebraska, let's give him some love. Do you remember his name or no?
No.
His name is Pastor Shane Eidelman. I think that's the guy.
I literally, you know what's funny? Maybe it was subconscious. Maybe I scrolled past it.
Is this the guy? Is this him?
You know what? Maybe it was subconscious and I scrolled past it because I made up pastor from Nebraska off the top of my head. So if there is one who hates me, if there is one who hates me, it proves that I have a pretty good feel of the demographic who hates me, because I'm sure there is a pastor in Nebraska who's saying, Andrew Tate's the devil.
Well, if it's not him, he just got a shout out.
Yeah, but if I had the platform that you have, there would definitely be a pastor in Nebraska who didn't like me. Like, that's not a thing. That's not you think you did a thing.
I mean, it's true.
God bless, Pastor.
Guys, Elon's in the business of kings. He's trying to have progeny. My security team in 21 years from now will be my 10 sons. That will be my security team.
Yeah, nobody's arguing. We are all in agreement that he has not been convicted of any crime anywhere at all. But that is separate from what we know happened, or at least know what he said, and has admitted to trafficking a 15-year-old. So if you know, let's just say hypothetically We know for sure that he wasn't lying. Maybe he was just saying it to sound cool. Why you would think that trafficking a 15-year-old is something that would make you sound cool is besides the point. But let's say the fact is that I personally do not care what the law says about you trafficking a 15-year-old. I personally am not okay with that. I'm also not okay with the mass amounts of fraud that he's admitted to. So the law is irrelevant to my personal opinion. The law can aid in understanding that. And had we not had him on camera openly admitting to these things, then this would be a much stronger statement. But if you saw somebody, if you're at the bank and someone, let's say it's somebody you know, so you recognize them, and they walk into the bank and they put a mask on and they hold up the teller and steal money and walk out. Are you gonna? Is it a defense from your perspective that he hasn't been convicted? I think you'd be pretty upset if that happened to you and you went to tell somebody, well, was he convicted? Well, that's not really what we're talking about, is it?
I will make 10 sons and they will be my security team. I have an objective to complete. Now, if a woman
that's weird
comes to me and says, Andrew, I'm better than the rest. I can grow a baby in a week. I'll say, all right, then I'll be loyal to you. Done. There you go. If it takes 9 months to grow a baby, that's a skill issue. It's not my problem. I got work to do. So that's it. I'm very honest and open about this. Anyone who wants to attack me for it, that's their prerogative.
You think it's a skill issue to not be able to grow a human in a week? Let's back that up just to make sure I heard that properly. It's a skill that you can learn to grow a baby in a week.
Say, all right, then I'll be loyal to you. Done. There you go. Andrew, I will make 10 sons and they will be my security team. I have an objective to complete. Now, if a woman comes to me and says, Andrew, I'm better than the rest. I can grow a baby in a week. I'll say, all right, then I'll be loyal to you. Done. There you go. If it takes 9 months to grow a baby, that's a skill issue. It's not my problem. I got work to do.
No, sir. No, sir. It's not a skill issue. You fucking retard. It's a biological reality. What the fuck are you talking about?
So that's it. I'm very honest and open about this. Anyone who wants to attack me for it, that's their prerogative. But I'm not the enemy of civilization in the West. In fact, I would argue I was a large weapon in saving the West, in getting Trump elected, in waking men up, in fighting against the insanity. I would argue I've been on the good team for a very long time, and I have suffered for that. If any of these little
I'll just disagree.
Pastors or any of these little conservative accounts had any actual influence over the needle or over society.
Oh, so I have a small channel, so what I say is not true. Great argument. Great argument.
They'd be in jail, or they would have caught a case. They didn't. Trump caught a case because he mattered. I caught a case because I mattered. J6ers got cases. That's what they do. Governments, the Matrix, when they're mad, they give you a case. If you're sitting there with your Twitter account going, I'm a conservative and I've been preaching conservative values for years, and I don't know why the boys like Andrew Tate and not me, because I go on long Sunday walks, and why don't they
straw man?
They look up to me. I wish I was famous. You didn't catch a case because nobody gives a fuck what you say.
No, you didn't. I didn't catch a case because I didn't traffic any girls or boys for that matter.
Your ability to speak freely is directly correlated to your insignificance. If you are important and people listen, you cannot speak freely.
Are you speaking freely right now? Yikes, bro. So the fact that you're speaking freely, based on your own words, means that you're irrelevant. What? One sec. Said, did Tate fight for the good side because he's selfless or because he benefited personally from it? Bingo. You know. Where are the bodies? You're gonna have to pay extra for that.
Even now, there's a whole bunch of things I want to say that I cannot say. So
you're a bitch then. So you won't stand on business.
I was attacked for my capability in the war against these people. That's what I was attacked for. And anybody who hates me, who hasn't caught a case, with respect, you don't matter. Even our enemy don't think you matter. You can be mad at me all you want. Think about this. We're all charging at the guns. We're all charging at the machine guns. And every single enemy machine gunner is saying, look at that guy. That's Tate. Shoot him.
You know what this reminds me of? You know what this reminds me of? I will tell you what it reminds me of. Really? Really? Okay, can we go to troll?
I got enough of being quiet. You don't need to watch what you say to other people. Talk about it.
People in VR chat taking things way too fucking seriously.
I did. What if I did? I'm 21 years old. Get it in your head.
Did you leave?
You need to watch your fucking mouth. Like, you're not my fucking mother, bitch. Yo, what the fuck?
Is she actually crying?
I'm sorry, whatever you are. Why did I just make a 21-year-old cry? You're back, Floofy. Oh my god, you did it! No way, I think you actually crushed.
Can I help you with something?
What's your girl?
It's my daughter.
What?
Yeah.
How old are you?
Why is that any of your business?
That's your daughter in real life?
No. This is my daughter.
Like, what do you guys do?
We hang out. Hang out, I guess.
Can I be your dad?
No. No, she has a dad.
Can I be your boyfriend?
No. Want to know why? Is this the first conversation you're having?
Like in this bar?
boys. In general. Because can
Is
I
that
be your
really how you
boyfriend
start a
is not a good
conversation?
starting sentence.
So what do you guys do?
We do
In real
stuff
life?
that father and daughter would do.
Do you live with him in real? Like, do you live with him?
No.
No. Mind your own business. Ah,
You
damn.
got a boyfriend?
No.
How about now?
Nope.
How about now?
So Tate is basically the one stuck in VR chat thinking his avatar is super cool and getting mad that people are coming in and saying your flurfy whatever is not cool and is not actually anything. Like, how dare you? I love my VR chat. Shut up. Box said, we are so far afield, I cannot compute anymore. He tore me of my OS. Josie said, I got a prediction. Tate will be in politics within 24 months or less. Screenshot being taken and saving to my notes. I will hold you to this. I would love to be wrong about this because I think you're absolutely wrong. But we will see. We will see. Believe nothing except that anything is possible. It's definitely possible. Yeah, people get OD. One thing said I'm getting mad golden god vibes from Tate right now.
And every single enemy machine gunner is saying, look at that guy. That's Tate. Shoot him. If he gets to our trench, we're fucked. Shoot him. What about him? He's a pastor from Nebraska. Don't shoot him. Let him run. He can get here. Nothing will happen. They don't have no power. They have no influence. They have no capability. So they're mad at me. And they try to pretend I'm the bad guy. I'm not your bad. I'm not the bad guy. I just beat you. I'm just better than you.
You say that
It's exactly the same. It's exactly the same. And guys, we are coming up on the 2.5 hour mark. So if you would like to keep the party raging, you know how to do it.
having children is the business of kings, right?
Correct.
So I don't know how many you have. Elon's at 14. I don't know if you're trying to compete with him. Pat has 4. And he's very loudly and proudly said he'd have 20 if he could.
Yep.
What I want to understand is the role of a father. We see basically the decline in civilization right now, especially in America, about the lack of fathers in homes. We talked about the African American community. How often should a father be with their child? And I'd love to get PBD's opinion on this because it would seem to me he's.
Ooh, let's get answers from you guys. Let's get answers from you guys. How often? What was the actual question?
Child and in homes. We talked about the African American community. How often should a father be with their child? And
how often should a father be with their child? That's a very broad question. So there's many different ways you can answer this question. But I would love to hear from you guys just where you're at when you hear that question. Bob said I used to skip high school to play 007 on GameCube. Golden Gun. There you go. Well, again, let's stay away from the MRA. I don't need Tate to stand up for me. I'm good. I'm good. I think I can forge a path not like this. Especially, I mean, if for no other reason than he's already been in the zeitgeist. But yeah. But let's get some answers. What do you guys think? How often should a father be with their child? Very broad question. But what do you think?
In homes, we talked about the African American community. How often should a father be with their child? And I'd love to get PBD's opinion on this, because it would seem to me he's way more hands-on with his children than you. So how do you grapple with that?
Interesting question. And I would say that instead of just talking about fatherhood, let's talk about masculinity in men as a whole, because
that's, the only thing I know what to talk about.
Depending how competent you are as a man depends how potent you are with your time. So before I apply this to fatherhood, I'm going to apply it to something else.
So Box says, as long as he's not working, work and home, easy. Josie comes from the opposite side and said the very minimum. Why the very minimum? You realize that fatherlessness is arguably the biggest problem in American culture. But you want less time with fathers and children. Can you explain that to me, please?
If you are a man who works in Starbucks and you're not that interesting and you're not that successful, for you to have a woman to be loyal to you, you need to be next to her all day, every day. You need to hold her hand and you need to be with her every night. You have to come home every day. You need to talk to her all the time and text her all the time, etc. If you're one of the most famous, important, rich men in the world, you can talk to a girl an hour a day or 20 minutes a day, and you can see her once a month. And
I'm sure that's so spiritually fulfilling.
She'll be loyal to you. Why? Because of the potency of the man, the capability of the man. It's like most things, right? You need less.
That's sad. That's sad. He views these things as so transactional that it's not about finding any type of happiness. You're at a stage where you could find that very easily with a woman that you are extremely attracted to. Nah.
Because of the potency of the man, the capability of the man. It's like most things, right?
Context said about 30% of the time, you have to be the provider, and absence does make the heart grow fonder. The real answer should be when they need you most. Fair enough. And Josie agrees with 30. Okay, so I guess, just different ways to come to the same conclusion. Fair enough. Box said the incentives are skewed against men at this point. We need to find the middle ground with women. The incentive structure is broken.
Bingo.
Yep.
You need less potent alcohol than you do need a whole bunch of weak alcohol. And I would argue it's the same with fatherhood. I think the best fathers are so busy getting things done that, yes, they see their children. And I see my children all of the time.
I'm literally rewatching Succession, and though the Roy children are destroyed based on Logan Roy. No real spoilers there, but if you haven't watched Succession, go do it as soon as this stream is over. Unless you're a member, in which case, come to the after party.
A different child every single day. So I'm with my kids 2 or 3 times a week, all of them. But I'm so busy getting things done.
How do they feel
I
about
can't
that?
be with them all
How do they feel about that? Genuine question. Maybe they're cool with it. I would love to know if they would love to see Daddy Tate more often.
the time. It's true. I argue that would be offset by the fact I am who I am. If I meet an average person on the street, someone I've never even met, and they say, I watched your videos, you changed my whole life, and I meet them for 5 minutes and I shake their hand, it becomes their story for the week.
That's cringe. If meeting Andrew Tate for 5 minutes changes your life, you've got way bigger problems. So Josie said, I am new here. What is the after party? So you can see the pinned link at the top of the chat is a link to the free Discord server. So it is absolutely free to join. But if you are a member of this channel, which starts at just $2.99 a month, you get full access to the server. There's a bunch of different channels. We have the free chat, disciple chat, current events, words of the day, watch party, and we have some voice channels where we go in and after every Monday, Wednesday, Friday stream, we have an after party. So we can talk about whatever. And everybody is on screen. It's not, a chat. We're on screen in a Discord group. And then we often use that room to watch movies, watch shows. We've been keeping up with Severance. I'm trying to get everybody on Yellow Jackets. We did watch Kill Bill Volume 1. And Heavy Spoilers did come out with the second, the breakdown for Volume 2. So we got to get that scheduled. But yeah. That is what's good, really, where we are building community, having the important conversations. This stuff is definitely important and definitely interesting, what we're doing here on YouTube. But the real goal is to build an actual community where we can have sway in society. And so either way, whether you're a member or not, definitely come and join us in Discord 24/7. We are hanging out in there, having interesting conversations. I never got through season 1, so I would definitely be down for a True Detective watch through. All that kind of stuff is available as a member. But even if you are not a member, again, it is absolutely free to join the Discord. And if you know anything about Discord, if you don't know anything about Discord, I can definitely help you. That's not an issue. But if you do know about Discord, just by engaging, the posts, talking to other people, you gain points. And you get levels. And so if you get up to level 15, then I will automatically give you the permissions that the other members have just by communicating with other people, engaging, keeping the community afloat. It would be my gift to you. So either way, it is a worst case scenario. You join it for free, you don't like it, and you leave. But I highly suggest that you come on through. All right, let's get a little bit more of this and head to that after party.
You changed my whole life, and I meet them for 5 minutes, and I shake their hand. It becomes their story for the week. I can have an influence on people quickly because I'm potent, and it's the same with my children. My father raised me that way. My dad could be home an hour a week because he was my dad.
This is giving, yeah, I got beat as a child, but I'm okay, from someone who is definitely not okay.
Now, there's other dads who'd say, you're a bad dad. I'm home all the time. You're a couch potato. You ain't raising your son being a couch potato. You may be there, but you have no impact because you don't matter. I have stories to.
This is such a broad, that's not what that means. Like I said, I honestly don't believe men are built to be around their children all the time like women. I love my kid to the moon, but I just don't have the patience my wife has with her. All right. I mean, hey, maybe I don't have kids, so maybe I'm a little off base here.
Tell. I'm fighting the Matrix. I'm interesting. So I would argue. Same with Elon. Let's apply it to Elon. Anyone who says Elon can't be a good father because he has so many kids is an idiot. You think Elon, with his influence and his brain and his capabilities and his achievements, can't see his children for a few hours and make a massive impact on them? You think his children aren't going to grow up and know that?
Yes, I do think that. I absolutely think that. I don't think a 5-year-old cares about your influence. I don't think a 5-year-old cares about the Matrix. I don't think that at all. I think a 5-year-old cares about where's daddy.
His dad is the first person to colonize Mars and be proud of his last name? Of course they will. Of course. If you want to be a couch potato and sit at home and have no stories to tell and no capabilities and think that makes you a better father, well, then you're just an idiot. And you're not even raising your kids because YouTube's raising your kids or the school's raising your kids. You're sitting there jerking off the porn and watching fucking sports with Dave fucking, what's his name?
Portnoy.
Dumbass. Dave Dumbass. You're jerking off over porn. So these people aren't better fathers than me. That's an attack vector they're going to use against me. Of course. I'm not saying I don't see my children. I'm saying they don't matter. I'm saying that I believe with my financial capability and with my achievements, I can have a whole bunch of children. I can put them all on private jets in and out and see all 10 in a day if I need to. And I believe I have a large enough impact on them. My children listen to me and they respect me and their mothers are happy.
Have you ever heard of a trust fund kid? What kind of emotions, or not even emotions, what type of character does that elicit in your mind? When I say a trust fund kid, is that a positive thing? Or is that a negative thing? Do we usually see people who have all their financial needs taken care of, but no social, relationship with their family? Do they usually turn out well? But daddy's got stories and money though. We taking PJs. That's what really matters in life, right? That's the conservative values that we're all pushing, right? What are we talking about here? This is not anybody that anybody over the age of 25 should listen to. And if you listen to 7 videos and then you're done, he's not going to say anything different. Get the information for sure. And then get the fuck out and listen to somebody who has values, or at least good values. Because this is garbage. Does that mean he should not be allowed in America? Absolutely not. He's an American citizen. He has been convicted of no crimes. He is absolutely welcome in this country. That doesn't mean I have to like him, brothers, whatever. Doesn't mean I have to like him. And it doesn't mean that I have to like anything that he's done. Buck said, hippies in NorCal, they don't wear shoes, use deodorant, and trim weed. Okay. Josie said, Trump was a trust fund kid. He made it. Not all trust fund kids are garbage. I don't remember saying that they were. The question was, what is the caricature that is elicited? And is it a typically, when people talk about trust fund kids, is it usually a positive connotation or a negative connotation? It's usually negative. How often do people actually talk about Trump as a trust fund kid using that terminology in a serious way? Because he's actually doing shit. And I think that's what he is. I think that's what he's raising. He's raising a bunch of quote unquote trust fund kids. I don't think he's rich enough to have them be actual trust fund kids, but just building the relationship sheerly on money and my status to other people. I have a feeling, and tell me if you disagree, but I have a feeling in 20 years, he's going to deeply, deeply, deeply regret the way that he is raising his children. And, I definitely wouldn't have expected Glomtech to, throw out that 30% number. But again, I'm not a father. But if it is that 30%, certainly Tate is not spending 30% of his time with each child. But even if it is lower than I was expecting, the level is way more than anything that has to do with your status. And on Guantech here said, I think structure with a mom and a dad is more important than just having a dad. Caring two-parent households are what's needed more than just dads in the home. Agreed, but I think I feel like that's kind of a different discussion. We're not comparing like single father to two-parent. We're talking about two-parent households and how much time the father is in that household. And so even if we are willing to say 30%, he's not spending 30% of his time with each child. And the more children you have, the less time you have to do that. And the less care that you have about that time, the less you're going to give. And again, I tell me if you think I'm wrong, but I think that in 20 years, his children are going to be very upset that they didn't have the father that they could have. He was too busy fighting the Matrix and being on YouTube and doing everything else, but spending time with them. I'm thinking, I see my kids in the morning, work all day, and then spend the night laughing and playing with her. It's not so much the amount of time, but how it's spent. Bingo. That's another aspect. To him, let's say he adheres to the 30%. That 30% would include flying them on the PJ to his speech to sit in the audience and listen or something like that. But like, I could be wrong. I could be very, very off base. I do not have children, and I don't have the best relationship with my own family. But I don't think this is the way. So let me know if you guys disagree in the comments below. Shout out to the Replay Gang. Again, if you guys are new, please do hit that subscribe. I am live every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, and sometimes whenever I feel like it. And I've been dropping videos almost every day. So hit that subscribe and ring the bell so you don't ever miss an Indian Jesus party ever again. Thank you, thank you, thank you so very, very much to all of the donations. Look at all of it. Look at it. Just look at it. And we had Bucks as our sponsor with the $20 make ya holler. And very, very, very much appreciated. Thank you, thank you, thank you so very, very much for hanging out with me, guys. Once again, this is Morty, and I have been your host, Lech, aka the Indian Jesus, here to resurrect the second coming of common sense. Until next time, guys, we are out of here. Peace.